Well. Queensland hit back, shock, horror in front of 91,000 down at the MCG to level up Game 2 in the State of Origin. We'll look back at Game 2 and look at the round that is about to conclude with the Roosters taking on the Sharks at time of recording Sunday night. The Knicks, first time in 53 years, the New York Knickerbockers are NBA champs. We'll look back at the NBA Finals and the scenes that then took part in the streets there in New York. World Cup fever has taken over. There's 48 teams. The Socceroos a fairly good chance to get through after winning their first match against Turkey. Is that saying that right? I don't even know. We'll review the round that was in the AFL. We'll look back at the UFC from Sunday night over there. UFC Freedom 250. Was it the best card of all time? Maybe. We'll discuss. We'll look back at the Spanish Grand Prix from last week. The US Open is on in the Gulf right now. There's always plenty of sport to talk about. This is On The Esky, Aussie Sports Podcast. Like our Aussie sports, we also like our US. And right now, we like the World Game. We'll spend a fair chunk of tonight talking about the World Cup. We have timestamps on YouTube. You can skip the sports that you like. We do have social media, Instagram, Facebook, and X. We like to start the show by shouting a beer. Sean on my right, wearing his Queensland Maroons kit, loud and proud. Who are you?
Which side is it?
He's kissing the Harvey Norman badge. Who are you shouting this week, mate?
Yes, I got to finish off my hockey theme, NHL, because we have a winner. We have a Stanley Cup winner, and that is the Carolina Hurricanes. They did win the series 4-2 to get their first Stanley Cup win since 2006. So congratulations to them for getting the job done there over the Vegas Knights. And that is my shout of beer.
And that's all we'll talk about hockey for the next 11 months.
Yep. Exactly. I'll see you in 11 months when the next Stanley Cup opens.
So second time they've been champs. 06 was the first time. First time in 20 years for them. And Vegas going pretty good for a new-ish franchise. That's the third time they've made the Stanley Cup finals. And they've only won the one back in 2023. But enjoy your beer courtesy of the Esky Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, I think they joined in around COVID. Around 2020, the Vegas Knights?
I think just before, because they made it in 2018,
yeah.
so they must be approaching about 10 years in the league as Vegas keeps collecting more and more pro sports teams. There's a good chance that the next NBA franchise is in Vegas as well. So
yes.
Maybe the next NRL team.
Yeah, maybe. Verlandis would love that.
Oh, he definitely would.
Sean, Monks, who are you shouting to be? I don't know if you can have one just yet, but who you got?
You might be able to. So we probably shouted him a beer last time.
Probably.
But
this
happened. Concerned.
Yeah, so I'm shouting Christian Eriksen a beer. So Denmark, so I suppose the underlying story, Denmark didn't make the World Cup, neither did Ukraine, so they were playing a friendly.
Neither did Italy, anyway.
Lots of nations didn't make it, mate.
Yeah, true.
Lots did. So they were playing a friendly in Odense, and he had a bit of a heart-stopper of a performance in the 65th minute. He had a bit of an episode. It wasn't too soon. This was earlier in the month.
It's a couple of weeks.
Got a few weeks ago. So he had a bit of an episode on the field, collapsed, but thankfully his ICD, the device in his chest that is basically keeping him alive now, kicked in, and thankfully he was able to regain consciousness and walk off the field. Unfortunately, the friendly was abandoned. After this, but shouting Christian a beer, thoughts with him, family, football club and him.
Does this career?
Hard to say. By everything that we're reading, like not as serious as the first one, where like CPR had actually commenced, and you remember back to the Euros, there was that circle around him because the scenes are pretty confronting. Whereas this was more like a collapse, and then his device obviously kicked in, done what it's meant to do, and then he's been able to walk himself off. So.
But do you keep risking it? I guess
do I look like a cardiologist, mate?
No.
It's a really hard one.
It is.
And
how old is he now?
He's not as old as what you'd think. I think like 33, maybe. Yeah.
34.
34, is he?
Yeah. It is an interesting dilemma as well. Like I think I was reading up. I don't know if he's still the captain, but Luton FC has a player who had a similar situation happen to him, and he's got a ICD in his chest as well.
Yep.
I was reading it. So when this happened for Ericsson the first time around, he mutually agreed with Inter Milan to void the contract. In Serie A, they have I guess a medical clause where if you have one of these devices in you, you can't be contracted.
Yeah. Okay.
The Bundesliga, where I believe he's playing.
Yeah, he's at Wolfsburg.
Yep, that's it. So Bundesliga and the EPL don't have a similar sort of regulation. So by all accounts, as long as he's comfortable playing, he'll be able to have a contract. But yeah, very interesting. I know it's slightly different, but obviously for us in Australia, we see a lot of sports where concussion and repeated head knocks is one of those ones where you see a lot of young players sort of medically retire very early in their careers. I guess it's just a risk you run. You're a professional athlete. This is your job.
Yes. Yeah, there's a bit of that too.
You got to weigh all of that up, I guess.
Yeah, we're definitely wishing him all the best, and it sounds like a bit of watch this space, I guess, through the summer, and seeing if he does go around again in the Bundesliga and for Denmark. But enjoy your beer if you're allowed to have one at the moment.
You'd be resting up.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah, feet would be up, that's for sure.
Definitely.
I'm going to shout young Travis Bazana a beer. The young Aussie had a career night over in Major League Baseball for his Cleveland Guardians against the Houston Astros. 4 at bats, 4 runs. 2 of them were homers, and 5 runs batted in. So just to say that again, I think 4 at bats, 3 runs, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, career night, and nice to see him starting to put it all together because he was the #1 overall pick back in 2024. And I think I was having a look. I think he's got 9 homers now, and 2 in one night. So going well, and we're only, 3 months into Major League Baseball. Pep's obviously a big fan of baseball.
I was going to say, this is going to be your first shout for this.
Yeah, I was thinking, it's like, why is Pep shouting baseball up here? Like, what's going on?
Italian Australian hits 2 homers. Like it's not that much of a stretch.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all.
But enjoy your beer, courtesy of the Esky, and we might get a little bit more baseball airtime with him doing big things over there. Sean, we need a little bit of a mop plot, but lead it into State of Origin. We're watching him right now.
Yeah, so I just noticed he's reffing again.
The most talked about referee in Australia, Ashley Klein. And a bit of a weird one. I think the timing of it was a little bit unusual, wasn't it? With some old gambling debts coming.
Whether it was a bit of a hit piece, maybe. Potentially. So
Snitchy McSnitch talking about about things from years ago.
Yes.
Nothing's recent, right? Is that right?
I'm not sure because So we're talking about Ashley Klein. It came to light his gambling debt of up to $400,000, predominantly on horses and dogs, being his kryptonite. It came to out that he put himself on, what's the register? The refuse to serve or something like that. Yeah. So like
ban yourself.
Yeah, he essentially banned himself from trying to get gambling to get himself clean. And that came to light that he'd done it, and then the debt and the fact, and then I started asking a lot of questions about should your premier referee of a sport that people gamble on has a gambling problem? Is there a slight conflict of interest potentially there, and should it ask some questions? Of course, the NRL and everyone's kind of backed him, and it was in the past. I'm not sure, Jimmy, if you can find when that moment of where he banned himself from it actually happened.
I don't know.
So I feel like it was a few.
Knowledge.
Because I feel like it was a few years ago. I was saying there are some quotes from former people he worked with that he'd ask for money all the time and be like, "Hey, can you spot me? $1,000, kind of thing," and like that. So because he definitely had a gambling addiction, a gambling problem. So that kind of obviously led to where the story has come from. So it then. I think there was a petition after game 1 to get rid of him. Like, we need a new ref. Ashley's ref so far. Like,
that for me was funnier. Was the amount of Queenslanders that were very quick to want him replaced after the interesting send off back in game one. Apparently, that petition had 10,000 signatures
yeah.
within a few hours, and I think reached about 40 or 50,000.
Yeah, probably got some bonus ones when this story came out a couple of days later as well, and everyone was just like, what's the go here? So yeah, it did add. It says there in the quote many years ago. So yeah, whether that's pre or post COVID as the common denominator there, hard to tell. But
there you go. The NRL first became aware of this matter in 2019. At which time it was investigated to the satisfaction of the NRL management at the time.
Yeah, so essentially cleared, never bet on any NRL related things.
Yeah,
so
7 years ago.
Yeah, 7 years ago, but nothing to do with any of his work related officiating. So
Laurie Daly came out, Billy Slater came out. They said we got no dramas. Backed him in to adjudicate the second game. To me, it seems like a bit of a storm in a teacup. You just want to make sure that he's going all right mentally, and obviously addiction a big problem in this country and everywhere. But look, I think it's a bit of a storm in a teacup.
Yes,
personally,
agree.
But it does lead us into
State of Origin Game 2,
which was adjudicated by Ashley Klein. 91,000 in at the MCG to watch Game 2. That is the biggest State of Origin crowd of all time. And 8 out of the top 10 at the MCG.
I think
not surprising.
There was a graphic they put up on the coverage. I don't think it was 10 teams. I think it was 8 teams. I think of those 8, at least 5 to 6 of them were at the MCG. I think I can't remember. There was at least one other place that had beaten out one of their previous MCGs. But yeah, because anything in the night,
right? It's going to be the only one. You're not going to have some co-op on that.
Exactly. So, it's a kind of a bit of a shit statistic because it's the MCG, like it's going to win. But it was, it was cool to see that it actually did break a record that the Melburnians, Victorians did get around State of Origin and get involved.
We'll quickly recap the game. Obviously, tale of two halves here in this one. New South Wales looked pretty good in the first half, and have to hear what Laurie Daly said at the halftime because different team rocked up.
They were flat in the second half.
What do you think about taking the 2 points 5 minutes in? Sammy Walker, does that sort of send the wrong message? Obviously, it didn't matter in the end.
It didn't matter then. Yeah, I'm firmly in the camp of you never take the 2 points because you always take the momentum over. The 2 points, because I think Billy said it because they crossed to him like 5 minutes later and they asked him about it. It was just like, we're happy for the points. We just got to reset and keep going forward, because that to me, I don't love, because I love the momentum. It's like having to okay, we got to reset and keep going. Whereas there's like, hey, you've got the field position, which has led to a penalty. Try to capitalize on it. 6 to 6 is better than 2.
Speaking of momentum, it all went 30 seconds later when Tommy Flegler coughs up off the kickoff. You don't see that very often, do you? No. Must have had just a little look up. Just a little look up.
Fumbled it.
Spilled his lollies, and Katoni Staggs goes through. New South Wales up 6-2. And then first 20 minutes is all New South Wales with Cleary putting debutant Mark Nwanganita Wase in for his first Origin try. And all of a sudden it's Blues 12-2. And
it was quite interesting because, and I'll talk throughout it about, I felt like New South Wales had all the luck. Like every 50-50 thing went their way. So like, Flegler dropping the ball, pops up perfectly for New South Walesman to get it and go over.
Fairly lucky.
Yeah. And then, Mark, we could get in his try, like Munster gets a hand on that ball, but he just can't retain it. But it doesn't go to like a Queenslander in the back there.
Yeah, it
like
goes to ricochet of a kick,
it ricochets off and goes to a New South Walesman. You're just like, crap. And I felt like, as the game kind of went on, it was just like there was more and more of those things. It was like, the footy gods don't seem to be on their side. But I feel like right around that 60-minute moment, it all changed, and it probably coincided a little bit with Staggs also then getting sent off around that period too.
Sinbin.
Sorry, we'll get there.
Probably an important distinction, I guess, because it is hard to tell. I was worried
with Ashley.
I was worried for the single finger pointing to the sidelines, but you'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. So it felt like they were on top, and then Loureiro gets that try back after the hammer line break, and then the big monster speculator to throw it back in to. It looked like so there's going to be a question, of course, with New South Wales attack going forward, because as we talked about, their first 2 tries might have had some lucky bounces in it involved, but it wasn't like set pieces. Whereas the Queensland first try, he started thinking, was like, well, it was a good line break. Then they spread it wide. This good play. Path has that good like inside ball to get back to get this try. So, that gives you a bit of hope, I guess, was some of the thinking there. And that's probably why Queensland, when they went into halftime down by 4, they're like, really didn't play that bad. And I thought, looking at it, they did the scroll of all the statistics across the bottom at halftime. Queensland led in all of them.
Yep.
And I was just like, well, we're behind, but I don't think we've been that bad, but I think we've been unlucky.
Yep.
And that was my worry. I was just like, hey, yeah, we're behind, we've been unlucky. Hopefully the luck changes at some point.
I don't know if it was make your own luck or just Queensland just come out playing way better in that sort of third quarter of the game. Selwyn Cobbo, geez, he's looking like bloody Superman at the moment, isn't he?
He's so big and so tough.
He scores 46th minute off Cam Munster, and then they have that set play off the scrum with a little no-look pass from Kalen Ponga. It was a very slick bit of work there. All of a sudden it's 20-12, and then when JJ Fafita jumped over Brian Toto, that's real alarm bells there for New South Wales. Toto,
I felt we were getting back because I definitely in that first 15 minutes after half time, New South Wales came out. I think it was their first set, and there was like you throw a blanket over them essentially. They're in the goal line trying to hit it out, and there's one guy running up. I'm just like, why are they so tired? I was like, what is Laurie, like you said, what has Laurie told them at halftime? Is the bloody snooze fest because they were so flat. And I think Queensland definitely capitalised on it, and it kind of felt like they were getting back into the game. And then they had Lindsay Collins does the hit up and gets the double shoulder charge. And, they send it up for the challenge. And the bunkers is like, well, they couldn't have the opportunity to wrap up because the teammates were standing too close together. I was like, well, still shoulder charge.
They ran into each other.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I was like, that's a 50-50 call. I can see it going either way. Like, I can see why you would call it.
I don't think there was much in that, to be honest.
But... And and then they come back and score straight away after that, and you're just like, oh no, they still feel like they had the luck on their side, New South Wales. Whereas I felt Queensland had been the better team.
So it's 26-18 at that point when Marky Mark goes in for try number 2. That's
the fucking leg pull.
That's around about the 60th minute. He's talking about Tony Staggs.
Yeah.
Didn't have the best game, did he?
Yeah, but again, there's another 50-50 call where he's just like. They're all celebrating Marky Mark with the little stutter step to make Cobbo stutter step to create the room that he needed to score. And then on replay, you just see, Staggs just sneaky little, I'll just tuck my arm in around his foot, which, stumbles him to create that room.
It was all just elite football for Marky Mark.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, they showed it once on the coverage. It was like, well, let's not go there again because I think we may have fucked it up because I think a lot of people that blew up massively online was like, that looks like a professional foul. But again, it felt like one of those things was like, the luck for New South Wales. They got that snuck through there. They get that try, and they, like you said, they're back to 26-18. And you're just like,
it's game on, right?
It's game on. You're just like, I'm so worried. But yeah, and I think Queensland then having that line break to then go down for the hammer try was just like, that's where I thought, maybe they're trying to get on top. And then, of course, the bonus to that try is Staggs runs out of line and tries to kill Ponga in the process and gets sin bin for it.
It's silly, isn't it? Like, I don't know what the thought process is there because he flies out of the line, he leaves his feet, and the ball is
miles gone.
2 meters out of the frame, like by the time he makes contact.
Yeah. He's probably not going as fast as Joseph's.
No, it wasn't as bad as
it didn't look as bad, but you're still it's like a high contact. Yeah. You put it into Ashley's hand, it was like, he's already had 2 send-offs. So I was just like, I could feel another one coming. But I think what we talked about, I just wanted to cover this because we talked about this in the last pod, almost exactly the right way, I think, of handling this. Whereas you see it, it's seen bin happens. Queensland think Pong is going to go off because he's got to have a HIA because it's high contact. They've got Reece Walsh. They're getting him ready to go on. Like that whole process and system, I think works for this. Like this is why, again, it was like, no send. I'm not going to say no send-offs in Origin, but you have to kill someone. You have to like literally almost kill someone to be sent off. Yeah,
rip someone's head off.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's I don't think it was a send-off, and I think this was the correct way to manage this for that process that we talked about with the 6-man bench. You're carrying that fullback, that extra guy that could cover you, someone like Ponga. Yeah. And I was 100% sure Ponga was going off for HIA. I have no idea why he didn't. I have no idea why Radley didn't go off for his when he did the high shot, the head clash on Larrero, and he gets up with wobbly legs. I'm just like,
it's Origin.
But they send Munster off. I think that was a square up because they used Tino as a free HIA substitution. They're like, fuck you, we'll take Munster off.
Yeah. I think this point of the game was kind of like it emphasised probably what the weakness seemed to be for New South Wales. It was always going to on that right side.
Yeah, the right side.
With Cobbo, like, and
Well,
you could
and
see like
then-
Marky Mark was always there was always an overlap on that side, and whether that was because Stags just kept on running out of the line, like I don't know if he was just too keen and trying to get a big hit on being Origin, but defensively it was just like it wasn't really defensively minded on that.
Well,
side,
who is it?
seemed.
Was it Moses playing inside him?
Yeah, I think
You
so.
got to remember, Moses is playing on one
Yeah.
leg. Like he's
Hadn't played a game.
hadn't played a game.
Yeah,
They subbed him off late too.
yeah.
Nathan was playing, of course, with a hip injury too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Big hit pointer
So-
for
yeah.
Cleary.
That's probably what the differentiation was at the halftime. Like maybe they were able to Billy was able to pinpoint that and exploit
Take
that. Whereas
that
like
edge.
Sean, you
Well,
said,
they love that left side because
Yeah.
they
Well, they do,
Cobbo and
yeah.
Hammer down that side. They obviously thought that was benefit,
Yeah.
and then they liked the high ball over top.
Yeah.
Like that looked like the game plan definitely
that's it.
because they went to that high ball several times, got one try from it,
Yeah,
and then they just tried to line break. Harry Grant,
Yeah.
like fast play, got those guys like Hammer around him. Like that's what the play was. But yeah, Harry and Munster just carved them up in that second period, and that led to
Definitely.
go back to the Lindsay Collins try there.
Yeah.
After that line break from Harry Grant, and then Cobbo gets his hattie not too short after.
Mitch Barnett consolation. Queensland win 44-24. How good is Sammy Walker with the boot? 8 from 8.
Hasn't missed an
like
Origin
missing.
yet.
Yeah, was he perfect in
Yeah.
game 1 too? He's been so
Wow.
good to step in.
yeah.
Well, did you hear Munster's comment afterwards? He's like, Tom Dearden's getting healthy. He's like, when he comes back, he's just like, oh yeah, I might not need to do it anymore. I'll hang the boots up. I was like, no, please don't.
But he's been pretty good as well.
Yeah.
So and again, as a
Yeah.
Blues fan, imagine a fresh Tom Dearden coming on with 20
On
to
the
go,
bench, yeah, exactly.
and with his pace.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah. And I think the Stags Simbin really hurt their substitution process as well
It
because
stuffed it up.
because
You can't
Payne
use-
Haas
they don't-
didn't play enough minutes.
Yeah, they don't use Appy.
AFB, they don't use Appy because they bring Strange on for the exercise and to help
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah,
AFB plays 20 minutes, I think.
not even
Yeah,
15.
Yeah, because they couldn't get him rotated in because they needed
Yeah.
the smaller guys to help cover in that period. So it really,
Yeah.
really hurt them, that sin bin.
Stags doesn't play game 3. You wouldn't think as a Blues fan, Monks.
I think Latrell and Turbo are both
Stephen
Yeah.
Crichton.
Crichton as
He
well.
looked
Like,
fine.
I think
he
all
looked
of
fine
those
last
guys
night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turbo and
Turbo was
Latrell still got
today.
big, question marks around getting right within the next few weeks.
Weeks,
But Cole has done nothing wrong to get dropped, I wouldn't think. And if Stephen Crichton's
No.
shoulder's okay, he's got to play
Yeah.
Origin, doesn't he?
Has
I
to.
would think so.
Yeah.
It's a shame because Stags has been pretty good for
Mm.
Brisbane. He just didn't have the best night, and then obviously a bit of a brain explosion.
Yep.
Didn't cost New South Wales the game, but it had was a big factor, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. It's led to us, like you said, we can probably cover it. It's led to some big question marks in the New South Wales side. Like, I don't think you drop everything. I've seen lots of calls for Daly's head too. It was like, get someone else in there already.
I wouldn't do that leading into a
No,
game 3.
No.
No.
Did pick up the most defeats in Origin history as well, taking on it.
So 12 losses.
12 losses, yeah. More than Wayne. Wayne had a few extra series wins in there, though. So.
Yeah. And then some.
Yeah. He just done it for a long time. But, there's now questions of what's your second row look like? Who's your halves going to be?
Yep.
Stag's position.
Yep.
Is Teddy doing enough for you to go back to Edwards? So, like, it's
A lot of questions, isn't there?
outside of, that 20-minute period in game 1 with the send-off where New South Wales attack came to light, the rest of rest of game 1 and the rest of game 2, their attack just wasn't clicking. So there's some serious questions or, question marks that are got to try to find answers for, I think.
Going back to some selection stuff, I don't know how Olakuatu got dropped.
100%.
He's been the best edge back rower in the
I
comp.
don't know why Cameron Murray's on the bench.
Yeah,
he should
we look
probably be in
better.
his-
We look better
in
when
the
Cameron
starting
Murray's playing. So that do you start Murray at 13? Yo comes off the bench. I know he's the captain, but certainly look better when Cam Murray's playing at lock. And in 3 weeks' time, if Moses got a bit more run in the league, it's a different story. But Strange is just about the best player in game 1. And you've got an underdone Mitch Moses, who to his credit has been great in State of Origin, but coming back from a hammy.
Yeah, exactly.
So I probably would have had Strange start,
Mhm.
would have still carried Moses.
Yep.
There's no world where I wouldn't have Olakuatu at least in the 19. And
Yeah.
Dylan Lucas wasn't bad, but he didn't light it up.
No, he wasn't.
Light it up by any stretch of the
I think
imagination.
Hud's in the same sort of conversation. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't bad, but again,
Yeah.
I'd say
Didn't
I'd
do
have
anything
Hudson
bad.
and Olakuatu
Yeah.
starting as my edges, and probably bring in Cam Murray at 13. I think they look better when Murray's playing. But look,
Yeah.
what seems to be rational and what Laurie Daly ends up doing
it's completely different.
tend to be different things. And yeah, look, there's going to be some interesting club games in the next 2 weeks as well, because there's going to be a heap of players that are going to be trying their ass off to try and get into that 19-man.
It's a huge game.
squad,
Game
yeah.
3 is going to huge. It's in Queensland, so big pressure thrown back on New South Wales to go up there and perform. Like, it's going to be tough for them. But
I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Like all the momentum is going Queensland's way. It's at Suncorp. New South
the
Wales
history of
already got a
Suncorp,
bad history up there, and it just reeks of last year as well, with winning game 1 and then the momentum swinging and death in the family. Tino lost his old man, in the lead up, and that's horrible for him. But it's a big fire up for Queensland, much like Money losing his old man last year, and they've got their work cut out for him in 2.5 weeks' time, don't they?
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Aside from being a devastated New South Wales fan, how good is Origin? The product, 91,000 in AFL territory.
Well, we don't have it in the notes, but all that talk about viewership, the new TV deal, looking likely Foxtel's going to get it. They've put up more money than NRL does. Nine. So 9 and Stan is going up against Foxtel, KO, that grouping,
Can't give it to Stan.
and 7. So
You can't give it to Stan. You can't have the guys that show rugby and soccer all year round having one off.
But 9's just like, hey, we can use our because
We've got
9 and
that
Stan
online
is
pro.
Stan is their streaming
sure.
service. So
Yeah.
it's just like, hey, we'll have similar concept it is now. Like, they play half the games on free to air and the other half will be on the streaming service. Whereas Foxtel's kind of pushing was like, we'll have half the games on KO within a select games on 7 as their partner. And then State of Origin probably ends up on 7. So, which would mean a huge, completely different commentary, of course. It'd be whoever 7
Ricky Ponting
wants to, potentially they could get a bunch of AFL guys. It's like it could be completely different.
Bruce McAvaney.
Yeah, exactly. We get Bruce out there to call an
Who
Origin
would he
game.
salivate over in the NRL? You need someone a bit fast and flashy.
Race, of course.
Yeah, Reece Walsh.
But you have Reece, Ponting, and one NRL dude there. So it could be a huge shake up to the
Do you
landscape.
know when that gets announced?
Soon, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Which also led into some of the conversations about what the expansion teams are, because they need number 20, I think.
Save that for the Warriors game. Because, I reckon Christchurch is a good shout.
Yeah, but there's heavy push for the 5th Queensland team.
Yeah.
But the idea is they're selling this TV deal on, a 20-team league, essentially.
Yep.
So, in the span of this probably 5 to a 7-year deal, their idea is there'll be 20 teams at some point.
The article just says NRL currently in the midst of negotiations for its next TV rights deal. It's set to expire end of 2027, but presumably they announced the new deal well before then. Discussions involving potential new partners like Amazon Prime and Disney.
Well, they're thinking of adding a Sunday night game, which would be like full time, like a Sunday night game, which would be like on Amazon only. So
yeah, right.
Kind of like how Amazon does
like
Thursday
NFL.
night in the NFL. Yeah. So, I know Volander's, I think there was a quote saying he was talking about thinking about he doesn't mind that model as long as it doesn't cost the fan too much.
Which it sounds like it will.
Which it will, yeah. Because in the US, it's a big problem because you've got to have 4 or 5.
10 different streaming services.
Yeah, and it costs an absolute arm and a leg. So, would hate to go down that path and end up kind of in where rugby is buried on Stan and not getting the same sort of viewership it probably should do.
Shout out to the Hurricanes, by the way, Super Rugby champions. Close game. Either of you seen the score?
No, I assume they smashed it whether they
60-5.
Yeah, they go.
Wow.
Who they play? Another New Zealand team?
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yeah.
Chiefs. Have a look at that. Literally the Super Rugby final over the weekend. If unless you're rugby inclined, a lot of people probably unawares that it was on. But yeah, I think Hurricanes best team all year and deserved winners, but nowhere near.
They put 60
a close
something on
game.
the Brumbies not that long ago.
60-5 Hurricanes over the Chiefs. Anyways, should we talk about the round that was?
Yeah.
Yep. Post Origin. NRL Round 16 has just concluded with the Roosters winning the last game against the Sharks. We'll go back to Friday night with Monks and my Dragons putting up an honourable fight against the Knights, but they went down 22-20 at McDonald Jones Stadium. It was a horrendous start. Fletcher Sharp starts at fullback with Ponga not backing up just 48 hours after Origin. Sandon Smith comes into 5'8". 8 minutes in, Fletcher Sharp double, one of the quicker doubles in the NRL. And then the Knights actually, their attack went limp because I don't think they scored again.
Park the bus.
Till like the 60th minute. Yeah, they went to Socceroos. Tony Popovich coaching the Knights. The Dragons actually scored more tries. They scored 4-3. It was goal kicking, which was the difference. That Val Holmes miss was real bad. The second from last one. The last one from the sideline is what it is, but that could have still taken it to golden point.
Still
but
hit the post.
Yeah, that second from last, pretty inexcusable, I would think. For someone of his quality. And it was actually surprisingly a fairly high quality game. There was 90% completion rate from both sides, and I think both teams only had one error in the second half. But it just sums up our season, doesn't it, Monks?
It does.
Close but no cigar in so many of these games. I think when have we been really hammered? Like Anzac Day was bad, but it's been a lot of these games where it's just
again, it's like similar to Origin with Queensland, like just the luck of the run of the luck.
No luck.
Was this the game with one of the Knights' tries? Was it came off a knock on as well?
Yeah,
like a drop ball.
Yeah, the one before the third try.
Yeah,
Phoenix Crossland, he gets tackled.
Yeah.
And there's a knock on that doesn't go upstairs. Anyways, look, not going to cost us a grand final.
Well, it might cost you avoiding the wooden spoon because they're still 4 losses behind the Raiders now.
6 points behind. But you're right because the Raiders have the extra. Have the extra buy up their sleeve. So there's potentially a spoon bowl next Sunday in the nation's capital, and we'll get to the Raiders in just a second. But look at another 2 points that goes begging for the Dragons after having a pretty good fight.
Yeah, that's it.
Team that's going the other direction, Dolphins, they're flying. They're up to third on the ladder, 6 in a row for them. 36-22 winners at Campbelltown on Saturday. Had the 3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, with no Thursday night or no Friday, no second Friday game. I don't talk about him all the time when we talk about the Tigers, but Terrell May is just a machine, man. 80 minutes in the middle, 52 tackles, 166 run meters, 2 tackle busts, 3 offloads in a losing side.
Is he coming back from an injury?
No, he's been playing pretty much all season.
So why is he not in the New South Wales team?
Well, I had him and Jackson Ford in the conversation before game 1. Jackson Ford, unfortunately, has done his pec. We'll talk about that in just a second. But
I guess a rotation of...
Imagine May coming off the bench.
Yeah. But you got AFB and Huss and
and
Mitch Barnett. So, like, you're not a bad forward pack.
Who misses? There's probably more argument when Huss was unavailable for game 1.
Correct.
But now, he's got to push himself ahead of a Barnett or an AFB or an Aussie who's your captain. So, and I think there may be a little bit of bad blood there with some of the senior selectors at New South Wales. But regardless, he's good week in, week out for the Tigers. Someone who did actually get into the extended New South Wales squad was Jack Bostock, who's been great coming back off his ACL this year. He's been a big part of the Dolphins' success. Big, tall, rangy winger. He's a Dragons junior. Anyways, he got called into the New South Wales squad after Casey McLean had the injury at training. And he backed up for this one. We're going to talk about Jermaine Asako because he is on up to 180 points in the season, which is 35 more than Nathan Cleary. He had 16 in this one, with 6 goals and a try. He's been.
I'm pretty sure I asked this on a previous pod. Did he top last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah, I think we looked up that.
Yeah. So he has been the NRL points scoring leader, and probably barring an injury, we'll get it this year because Cleary's 35 behind and will play one more game of Origin. Yeah, unless they blow it up.
And was rested as well. So
see if you can get the top point scorers up there, Monks. But yeah, Dolphins go to third, and I think they're playing the Warriors next week. So that's a
good game.
That'll be a juicy game at Suncorp. Titans beat the Panthers here, talking about resting players. Cleary, Yo, To'o, McLean obviously injured, but none of them backed up.
Yep.
Do you like the Chargers throwbacks? I reckon that's a good jersey. Old Gold Coast Chargers. Panthers got out of the gates quick, 12-0. And then there was that horror injury to Jensen Taumapio.
Saw that one live.
Just
It was
unlucky.
Yeah.
Just went up for the high ball. Leg comes down, weight coming down on the leg, and he's either dislocated his ankle or snapped his tibia. One of the two.
Yeah, it was pretty high up. I think it's a snapped.
Yeah. You can do both as well. So not going to speculate too much. Just thinking of him, I think he's in his 6th NRL game or something. So that's obviously his season, and you can come back from him. You know that they're not necessarily career enders, but just a nasty injury. And I nearly said the Chargers. The Titans went on to win the game
Chargers for now.
with young Zane Harrison kicking the game-winning field goal in just his 6th game. So massive win for the Titans, and for our poor Dragons, that's not good either. With them getting a little bit out of reach.
Yep.
You've got that point scorers up there. Do you want to try the little inbox thing that I think was set up?
Do you want me to switch it, Jimmy?
Maybe it works.
We can do it.
We can try it.
Pretty incredible that Latrell is 3rd, given how much footy he's missed. Here we go.
Yeah.
So Jermaine Osako, 180. Cleary in second, 145. And then Trell, Clifford, Walker, 116, 112, 111.
Interesting, he's only 4 goals over Cleary. But
It's a try scoring.
It's a try scoring machine.
And Tom Jenkins actually, Milky's had a little slowdown. He was he was on track to break all kinds of records. He still might.
Al Johnson's nipping at his heels.
He is. So 20 for Jenkins.
Scoring 4 the other day helps. So
for sure.
True.
19 for AJ.
It's absolutely crazy.
2 nice players there. Speaks volumes to their attack. They were saying in the Dragons game that they've scored more points through 13 games than they did all last season. So, Greg Marzio, Dom Young there, and DWZ as well. But look, Panthers can cop a loss. They're still 4 points ahead at the top, and maybe keeps it a little bit more interesting for some of the teams down the bottom. Bulldogs beat Manly 13-12. This was a great finish for the neutral viewer. You would have had your heart in your mouth if you're a Dogs or a Seagulls fan. Much like the Dragons, Manly scored more tries, but lost it on goal kicking. So Garrick missed 1 attempt, Fogarty missed 2, and that field goal miss from Jamal Fogarty straight in front would have hurt for Manly fans.
Yeah, it would have.
Ola Kawatu, just brains
also,
brains I don't know if Laurie Daly watches his club games, but 180 run meters, 9 tackle busts, and Stephen Crichton
kicks a winning.
Yeah, well, maybe putting his hand up, saying maybe I could have been playing Wednesday night with the match winner there.
Again, I'm not sure why they ruled him out originally. And then carried Moses through the whole camp.
Bit of inconsistency, isn't there? Because Crichton was actually getting through his games.
Yeah, he played in that Bulldogs game.
Playing just needled up, I'd imagine, through some pain, and did, to be fair, have a horrific shoulder injury. Remember, we were talking about it. We're like, will he be right for game one?
And he's just like back next week.
Yeah, he played like two games before that. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? When you can say, he's got to prove his fitness, but Moses doesn't.
As a Queenslander, I'm very happy that Laurie's
when he's on, he's one of the best centres in the world, isn't he, Critter?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Dogs win that. Puts a little bit of dampens the juggernaut that is Fosball and Manly at the moment. I think they've dropped down to 4.
I was just going to say, Jimmy, get the table. We'll look at that in a minute. So you can work on that while we finish off Sunday's game.
Yeah, we'll just quickly through Sunday. I've only got notes for Warriors Cowboys, but we'll go through the scores of the other two. Warriors 38, Cowboys 20. That stadium in Christchurch looks
so one New Zealand, that's brand new. Is that their first game the Warriors have played there?
I think it's the first time the Wars have played there, and the Crusaders would have played there all year, presumably. All the rugby that we watch.
Yeah, I've heard. It's essentially the stadium that Canberra should probably build as well, because indoor stadium with a roof, like a permanent covered roof. Yeah, but it's also clear, it lets all the sunlight through.
Yep.
And by all accounts, from what I was reading, the noise in it was awesome. It's a wall of sound.
Sick.
So it's
only 25,000, but for a city, Christchurch is a tiny bit bigger than Canberra.
Yeah.
But the atmosphere looked good. Apparently those tickets sold out within the first few days, when they went on sale in January.
Oh, they love the Wars over there. And they've been playing second on the table currently, so they've been playing good.
Well, there's a pretty good argument to have the 20th team come from the South Island.
Yep.
You know, the South Island Orcas has had a bit of momentum, but yeah, I think as well the NRL would be pretty interested in getting the 5th Queensland team in. So watch your space. We don't need to go into it in depth, I suppose, tonight.
I think that's basically the options they've got down to. It's 5th Queensland team to cover a bit more of central Queensland, I guess, and
Western Corridor.
Yeah, the Western Corridor. Yeah, and then another New Zealand team because they obviously get the support.
But yeah, that game would have done their chances no harm.
Yeah, exactly.
Selling out and the atmosphere being incredible.
It looked like an excellent stadium. I was very, very impressed. Just knock down Bruce and build that, please.
The only downside for the Wars is that they lose arguably their best player this year in Jackson Ford. Now he'll go off for scans, but look like a textbook pec.
Yep.
And unfortunately with pecs, much like an Achilles, you're probably more likely to rupture it than do a partial. So they'll be praying for a partial.
Did you find Jan Sua last week?
Yeah, gone.
Yeah. Like it was a rupture.
Yeah, rupture.
As expected,
So it's about 3 to 4 months. There is a world where he could rupture, rehab the shit out of him, and if they went deep. I'm talking like prelim grand final. Maybe, maybe could get back.
Yeah,
but watch his space.
Him off the bench.
needs to go for scans and
exactly.
Wait and see. But it's a kick in the teeth for him because he's been playing career footy. You know, before the voting went behind closed doors, was leading the Dally M.
Yep.
So he's obviously not going to win that now, and has been a big part of their success. But yeah, you hate to see it. Injury's obviously part of this game. He knew. He put his hand up straight away, clutched at his pec, and that's never good signs.
Yeah.
And then I suppose another talking point out of this was Jason Taumalolo went to the bin for a lifting tackle on CNK.
How bad was it? Was it Undertaker bad?
No. In fact, he may not even get a suspension.
Yeah, okay.
It was like he certainly went below horizontal.
Yeah.
But luckily, CNK sort of rolled and landed more on his shoulder than his head, and was jumped up fine.
Yeah,
no concerns for him. Problem is, JT is meant to be playing his 300th next Friday, so
at home.
I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I will wait and see what the judiciary says there. I don't think he'd been cited for 3 years or something, they were saying, so his record's pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Hasn't played much for 3 years.
He just doesn't play the big minutes that he used to.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys that, was at that top. Everyone remembers him for that, but he's been playing serviceable, solid footy for the last 3 years. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's not a Dally M guy for the last 5 years. He's a victim of his own success. Like just set the bar way too high. And he's still, be in his early to mid 30s. Let's call it mid.
Yep.
But yeah, he'll have to wait and see, and we'll find out Tuesday, I guess, when judiciary stuff comes out. But the Wars are flying up to second. Storm, I hate to say it, but they're well and truly back. Made light work of the Raiders, particularly in the second half. It was pretty even first half.
Yeah, 20-20 at half. And then it was, what did it finish, 44-24?
42-20.
Yeah,
42-20. Raiders didn't score.
Yeah. Put them to the sword in the second half.
Cam Munster's 250th, backing up from Origin.
Yep. Harrogate played as well. They,
Will Warbrook had a hattie.
Yep.
Yeah. Storm are back. They're not quite in the 8, but they're certainly making a charge.
Yes.
And then a game which we sort of had a little bit in the background as we were prepping and going live to air. Yeah, the Chooks. Yep. Well, that finished 21-8.
27.
They scored another one.
Yeah, they had a late one. Mark had a late one.
Yeah. Looked like all their Origin guys are backing up for the Chooks. So
I saw Lindsay, I saw Teddy. So
yeah, Walker.
They had the most.
Do you want to bring up that ladder, monks? It's Penrith's comp to lose, isn't it? 245. That sports bet. I
can clear Virginia.
I think that's pretty reasonable, to be honest. Given they lost this weekend and they're still 4 points clear at the top. Penrith 12-2, 28 points outright first. Wars up the Wars. New Zealand Warriors second, 24 points. Then we starts to get pretty interesting, doesn't it? 3, 4, 5. Dolphins, Roosters, Knights, all coming off wins, all 22 points.
Yep.
Seagulls, that's a big loss last night. With that 1 point, they drop a few spots down to 6th. So them, Rabbitohs, Sharks rounds out the top 8 on 20. Just scroll down there for us, monks.
Yeah, Souths and who was there?
We're asking a lot from
Sharks.
Sharks have bye next week, so they will still be up the top there. And what's your
so then Cowboys and Tigers, 9 and 10 and 18. Storm and Bulldogs, 11, 12 and 16. Broncos get a much needed 2 points from the bye. As the Eels, 14 each. Titans and Raiders 12, and the Dragons are a long way behind on 6
Yeah.
points. The Dragons and the Raiders play next Sunday.
Just leave it there. I did look at this yesterday, and I was going to make a note about it. And it's very clear that if you look at the points differentials, all the top 8 have positive, and all the bottom 8 had negative. And I was like, Melbourne do play the Raiders. Maybe they will go positive because they had the closest. And yes, they are now positive.
Well into it.
They're now 20 positive. But yes, it's kind of shows that defensive is important. Score points, defend well, because everyone that's in the top 8 has a positive points for and against.
Storming at $23, coming 11th.
Yep,
pretty impressive.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, I think what's their recent form? Let's say 3-1 there. 5-3 over the last 8, maybe.
Yeah.
So they're starting to.
I think those
right the ship.
What you're looking at there is home and away records, I believe. But that'd be about 5 from the last 7, I reckon. Yeah. Storm. Can you scroll up there, Monks? Yeah, just have a look at the top 4 again and what kind of odds we're looking at. So Finn's into second for the tournament for the premiership.
Yep.
Interesting.
At $9.50, 10 for the Wars and the
Chooks.
14 for the Eagles and the Rabbits, and then
they don't like the Knights.
Yeah, 21, then 23 for Knights and Sharks.
Yep.
That wraps up. The next time we pod, I suppose we will be previewing Game 3. We'll have the squads for the big decider, and we'll be well and truly into the business end of the regular season as well.
Yep.
Curry sets, fires, puts it up. Bang!
The New York Knickerbockers are NBA champs, first time in 53 years. Long time coming for Knicks fans. We had serious concerns about the streets of New York afterwards, and I think relatively well behaved given what we were thought. I remember
there's a few videos doing the rounds, but I think over the majority, of course.
I think when I woke up,
just the 1%ers.
It was like 53 arrests, 1 death, rest in peace, and a burnt out school bus. And I actually thought that's not a bad result. That's actually not a bad result.
Normal Thursday night.
When the Oakland Raiders went to the Super Bowl, completely different scenes.
Even Philly a couple of years ago when they tore that place apart. Remember that greasing up the light posts? Yes. People climbing the light posts.
Didn't stop them though. Didn't stop them.
Seems like you cause more injuries from greasing them up. Anyways, let's go back a little bit and look at what happened. So a strange old series in that you didn't actually get much home court advantage. I think the first 3 were all
first 4?
No, because the Knicks won Game 4 at Madison Square Garden. Yep. But they won the first 2 away.
Yep.
Then Spurs won away, and then that crazy Game 4. That was the 28 point.
Yeah, that's right.
The all-time choke / comeback.
Yeah. 3 and Game 4 both had pretty wild.
Well, I think that was the stat. The Spurs had double-digit leads in every game, and some of those, like we say, were massive leads. And gave them up.
That's got to be attrition, right? That's got to be you coming off a 7-game series. And
part of that, and I think there's a lot of commentary around the fact they, a young team making a lot of dumb decisions, couldn't find a way to win games. They couldn't just close them out. Maybe lacking some of that, elite finishing experience, having been to their first finals as a group. But that'll be awesome for them, and they'll win the next 10. So we'll get to the dynasty chat later. But if they can keep Wembley healthy with a good squad around him, there might be one dynasty still around.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I didn't feel too bad for the Spurs, given how young that group is, given that the alien that is Victor Wembanyama is 22 years of age, and I think we'll get a championship ring. If not a few.
Very bright future for them.
Yeah, definitely.
But they probably just lack that clutch finishing at the moment, don't they?
And I think, they're probably burnt out getting past OKC. They played their final series 1 earlier.
Jalen Brunson, finals MVP, well deserved after, 48 in Game 5?
45.
45, I think it was. Yeah, 45.
5 40s. So.
How's this stat? Joins Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Bill Walton. Pretty good list to having been a MVP in the NBA Finals.
Yep.
Also winning the NCAA college basketball, and also being a high school state championship. So just being really, really good at ball from about 18 through to 30.
I think it's also pretty cool, as a guy that's 6'2" and under, been written off basically his entire life that, he too small for basketball, to come out and just show it doesn't matter. Like it's awesome to see his hard work and some of the highlight packages of him and his old man working out when he's younger, and like just do the repeated, just drill, and it obviously paid off dividends.
It's going to be interesting, like when the 2K rankings and the ESPN lists and shit all come out, because he always gets slept on.
Yeah, 100%.
But
the Knicks have been slept on the last couple of years.
Well, you've got to have
He's
him.
been there, so
He's top 10, right, in the NBA, and there's probably an argument now for
you would say
pushing
so.
into that 5.
Win a championship definitely helps.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see in the off season where all the pundits have him, and when you'll see a few lists come out. You reckon just under 25 million viewers for
so
average?
They announced the average, just under 24.5, let's say, million average viewership across the series, which was the most since the 98 finals, which is pretty cool. And then it peaked at game 5 at 33 mil as well. So that was the most of a game 5 since 98 as well. So it's a pretty cool stats there. I guess, New York market, if you remember the 98 series, you remember who actually played in that. So, I think it did play a factor, but I guess it's reversing a trend of viewership in basketball actually going down over time.
Yeah, well, you go back to last year when it's OKC and the Pacers, and it was a pretty good series. Probably, actually, no, we're not going to say it's better than this series just gone, but the 2 small market teams and the NBA would have,
the numbers weren't great. So.
Yeah, so they would have done something in their pants when they saw the Knicks going the whole way there. And we spoke a little bit about the tickets, didn't we? About 8 or 9K to get in the building.
Big celeb row, of course. So,
6 digits to be anywhere down near courtside. And, there's a reason why it was the most watched in close to 30 years. And also interesting from a coaching perspective with Mike Brown, who only took over this time last year. And I was talking about this in the pod last year, saying, what's Coach Tibbs done, exactly wrong here? The Knicks have been trending in the right direction, but it's obviously a performance-based industry, and sometimes the bar is championship or you're out of here. So.
Davey Walters nudge.
Yep. It happens, doesn't it?
They added Cat this year, didn't they?
No, maybe even 3. Yeah.
He's actually been there a while then. Yeah.
It happens quick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, the great trade,
Yeah, I think I just didn't want to downplay that he was also massive throughout a lot of the series as well.
Yeah.
And big reason in keeping Wembley quiet.
Yeah, defensively.
Like in some moments, definitely.
Yep.
Getting the better of him, which I think really helped them, of course, end up winning the series.
They just played good team basketball as well. We spoke about
100%.
Josh Hart in the first few games, could barely score, but would, in game 1, would he have 15 boards and 10 assists? He was just a good distributor and defensively solid. And then OG, with the crazy putback some crazy highlight moments for him. Knicks are champs. I don't hate it. Yeah. I don't hate it because, like I said, I think the Spurs and Thunder are both going to be very good for a very long time.
100%.
And not that the Knicks can't be good next year, but you just feel like both those rosters are young and only going to get better.
Yep.
I think for the Knicks, it's just they're always going to be in the Eastern Conference, which is always going to be so competitive. Like year in, year out, you don't know who is actually going to come out on top.
You can say the same in the West, though. Like it's,
I suppose so.
Arguably more competitive.
Yeah,
at the top end.
Well, yeah, I'd say the West is more competitive, maybe for name value, but I can kind of see Jimmy's point. Like in the East, though, you can change it and rotate it over so much as well.
Yeah, look at the Pacers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you're one injury away from being the worst team.
Exactly. So I think there's that ability, wider range of where you could actually end up.
Yeah.
Whereas I think, it's pretty competitive across the West. And you're always kind of in that space.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go with that.
I'm just trying to hook him up. I'm trying to hook him up because I don't.
Should we chat the dynasty? The end of the dynasties, really.
Yes.
So 8 different champs in 8 years. Would it be too much of an ask to get that graphic up, Mugs, or is that you'd have to find that?
Hold on.
Something similar. I'll talk. Basically, we're looking at a little graphic of the last 8 NBA champions. So going back to We the North Toronto Raptors, bringing their first title to Canada back in 2019. We've had a different winner over the last 8 seasons. So Raptors in 19, Lakers in 20, Bucks in 21, Golden State Warriors in 22.
Oh, actually, no, do this to me.
Nugs in 23, Celtics in 24, Thunder in 25, and now the Knicks.
I'm getting very close. keep stalling.
Okay. What was I saying? Oh, so yeah, but looking back, he's going to work it out. Look at this.
I'm not sure if I can make it any bigger though.
Well, that's all right. See if it
Just
works.
draw all over it.
It's not even that good a graphic. It's
No, I can't zoom in on it.
This is a lot of work. Basically, it was just a graphic of the last 8 minutes. So look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Look it up.
It's
Yeah,
not,
we could have just done that. Just looked up NBA champion.
not that hard, but it is a nice. It's nice visually because it's got the logos.
It's got the logos. Yes, I
Anyways.
get that.
The last 8 winners have all been different winners. We haven't had any back to back or any repeat winners in that 8-year bracket, if that makes sense. But before that, obviously, the 2010s, we had LeBron versus everyone.
Yep.
So the Cavs and the Warriors, for many years, LeBron versus Steph. And
Does the LeBron count as a dynasty if he's changing teams?
I think so, yeah.
It's the LeBron dynasty.
Well, I've got LeBron versus Steph, LeBron versus the Spurs, LeBron versus OKC/Mavs. It was just wherever LeBron was, whether that was Cleveland or Miami. You could bet that was who was coming out in the East. And then obviously the Warriors pretty handy with Steph and Clay and even KD for a couple.
Yep.
And then you go back to the 2000s and you had the Spurs won 3 and 5 years. Not really a dynasty, I suppose, but incredible. And then
pretty
Shaq and
close to
Kobe
it,
in the early 2000s. And then you go back to the 90s where
Which is all Bulls.
Bulls.
Pistons.
Yeah, and as long as MJ wasn't playing baseball, it might have been eight in a row for the Bulls. And then basically, if you want to guess who won each year pre-1990, if you guess the Celtics or the Lakers, you probably had a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
So the NBA has been a dynasty-driven league throughout its entirety. Really, we've gone through eras of different dynasties.
Yeah. I think the feeling is that teams kind of realize that you got to build your big three.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and I think that also the players realize is like, hey, if I want to win a championship, I need to get with 2 other guys. It's less likely like the Wembley situation, like a guy that gets drafted and they spend years building around
that
him.
one guy.
Yeah, now it's just like, I'm a guy, I know I'm, top 20, top 50 guys in the NBA. I need to find 2 other guys that are as well. And let's get together. And, LeBron going to Miami, for example. That's a classic example. And I think from that point, it started this conversation. And I think a lot of the teams, that's kind of why I think we see such a turnover in champions is because there's such a rotation in these guys and there's such ability for them also to move around because teams want to trade and move them as well to try and create a big three to potentially win a championship. It's all more about that season than instead of trying to build like, hey, we're going to win, be the Patriots and win 7 of the next 10, for example.
What else has changed in that time?
Talking money.
What else has changed in terms of the sport itself?
They don't play defense.
Yeah. the way that the offense is run has changed post Steph Curry. Hasn't it? So
it's definitely 3 points.
So you have the perimeter shooting, right? And you don't have so much of the long range jumper anymore. Obviously, the big guys still score in the paint.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's real. I'm just saying that has been something that we've seen with the shot maps.
Yeah, from regular season games, 100%. It was actually interesting because that Spurs game where they led by 28 points, they were shooting the 3-point almost exclusively. That's how they got ahead.
Yeah, right.
But then, in the second half, they lost because of that.
What happens when they
started missing?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, if you look at the Knicks shot, where they were shooting from, their shot map, they were coming in and getting 2 points. Like they were getting closer to the basket and getting more consistent buckets.
Yep.
And they slowly just broke that lead down, just slowly getting the turnovers, getting them missing. And then, they got them back in the game and they had all the momentum and they ran away with it. It's an interesting, especially in a finals period.
I would theorize that there's more room for error in a perimeter shooting.
Of course, doesn't matter too much in a regular season game because you're just like, hey, we'll just throw up as many points as we can. Yeah, who gives a fuck? And hopefully we win. So,
Anyways, I think it's interesting. Maybe as well, just the way that it's officiated with soft caps and not the way that's officiated, the way that rosters are managed is better than it's ever been.
Yep.
And that leads to greater parity.
Yep.
And credit to the guys that make the financial decisions in how the rosters are made up. And we've seen again going back to the Pacers where a team can be shit hot one year and just shit the next year. So it's an interesting space, and I think the NBA finals just gone with the viewership is nothing but good for the sport in general.
Yep.
Got the Wikipedia up there. Yeah, so
Yellows are winners, are they?
yeah.
Yep.
There's a bit Golden State run there, as you said.
Yeah, you can go back. That's LeBron versus everyone. Then you go back to
Lakers, Spurs, as you said.
you know,
winners. Heat,
Kobe
yeah.
and the Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Spurs era,
Bulls,
the
Houston
Jordan era
Rockets,
with a couple of
Pistons.
games at the Rockets, and then flip a coin for Lakers and Celtics essentially before then. And there's that last Knicks win back in 1973. This is their third one. They did win 1972. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, one of the better finals, I think, in recent memory.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens in the off season. Does LeBron go again?
By all accounts, it looks like they've started the conversation with the Lakers. So
Yep.
they're bringing back.
Yep. You see that the World Cup ad with him and Ronaldo?
Yep. It's crazy. You can talk about it because it's a good little segue into the World Cup. The hydration breaks.
Oh, fuck.
Should have just called them commercial breaks.
yeah,
Should
yeah,
have.
yeah.
I saw someone
Yeah.
doing a conservative estimate on Instagram.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's one dude on Instagram's conservative estimate. So I'm going
Yeah.
to take that as gospel.
Mhm.
But they reckon maybe if you're going 250K per 30-second ad break,
Yep.
which is conservative, they reckon.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, the
and
Super Bowl's like 3 mil, I think.
7
now.
million, something like
yeah,
that.
it's
But you got to
ridiculous.
think, I think this is over the whole tournament. So
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot more games
the
and a lot
ads
more
when,
ads. So, yeah.
when Iran plays New Zealand is probably not crazy.
Sold out though.
Yeah. that is true.
Though
Yeah.
I think nearly every match has been pretty close to sell out. Like there's-
Curacao, like
yeah.
there's heaps of people just must jump on the
yeah,
bandwagon.
exactly.
Buy some,
They're
buy
just
some
in,
jerseys.
they're in America.
Hasn't
for
been
the
heaps of empty
tournament,
seats. But anyways,
No,
this guy crunched the numbers, running that as the conservative figure.
Yeah, so like say an average. Yeah.
210 million US for the World Cup in advertising revenue. That's not
That's just the hydration break.
that's just for hydration
Just-
breaks.
Yeah, that doesn't
That's for-
include everything else
that-
pre,
not
post,
halftime,
and-
pre, post.
Yeah.
No, it's just from changing it up a little bit for a US audience.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. If you
Fresh.
didn't need hydration breaks in Qatar, then obviously it's commercial breaks.
Well, they were all indoor stadiums. They were air conditioned, so there's a slight difference there. However, the Aussies played in Vancouver at night time in a stadium with a roof, which still had hydration breaks. So they should probably just call that a commercial break.
yes,
That's it.
Yes.
And I did see Virgil van Dijk did comment
There's
about
a few
it.
people, yeah, a few people
other
that have
people
made a
comment.
couple
Yeah.
comments. No
Yeah.
one real scathing, but
No.
because obviously if you've got the ball and
Yep.
they'll still let a play run. Like it's not like it hits the minute and then they blow the whistle. It's still the way
It's kind of like
so-
calling halftime. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. But it can kill momentum.
Yeah, yes.
Is what I would argue.
I think they have showed that it does. Momentum does swing
Of
after
course,
the hydration
yeah,
break.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's another stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a breakage in play. Like
Yeah.
it's always, yeah.
Get at us in the comments and let us know what you think about hydration breaks. But that is our little segue into
Yeah,
talking
make
about
it official.
the biggest thing in the world right now, the World Cup. Time of recording Sunday, 9 p.m. Australian Eastern. So we're through to Group F. That's all completed their 2 games.
Play 2 games, yeah.
Yeah,
The other
so-
groups below them have played 1 and, of course, will play their second over the coming days.
Yep, he's probably the first one to be in about 6 hours. But let's go back to the top end of the draw and talk about Group A, B, C before we get into our one. Group D, Mexico going well, playing at home at altitude. Probably no surprises there. Haven't conceded just yet.
Look pretty good. So-
Yeah, they're going to have a good run. I think there's quarters is probably, not overly ambitious for them, given home field advantage and the run that they're going to have and the way that they've played so far. Mexico has never made the semis at the World Cup. I'm fairly confident of that.
Dead.
But yeah, they've got 6 points. Korea's in second at the moment. Korea, good chance of getting through, and Czechia and South Africa are in trouble with 1 point each.
Yes.
Group B, this was one of the ones that I probably highlighted, or not just me, pundits in general,
Yeah.
as probably the weakest group in the World Cup, with Canada and Switzerland. Canada absolutely smoking Qatar. There was that red card and that unfortunate
Yeah, the
leg
leg break.
break, which saw the Qataris go down to 10 men, and then the Canadians put 6 on them.
Put the sword to 'em.
4 points each for them, so they're all but through. And then it's Bosnia and Qatar play each other. So if Qatar win that, they might have a fighting chance. If Bosnia win that, 4 points they should get out.
Yep.
I would think.
I think that's what it's looking like.
Group C, maybe the strongest in the whole World Cup with 2 top 10 ranked teams, Brazil and Morocco. They drew with each other in the first round, and Scotland beat Haiti. And then Brazil gave Haiti a good touch up yesterday with Morocco.
God, Jimmy,
getting
stop.
past Scotland. You
right.
guys fighting each other on the mouse, are you? There you go. Good old Wikipedia. My favourite.
Yep.
Morocco's pretty good, man. Like,
Yeah, getting a draw out of Brazil, take that.
well, they've still got Haiti, so there's a good chance. Or I don't know with goal difference. All Brazil really has to do is beat Scotland.
Yeah, they got Scotland.
Unless Morocco put up a cricket score on Haiti, Brazil probably going to top that group. But both of them should go through, and Scotland with 3 points. They're in a similar sort of circumstance to us, aren't they? They've got to win.
Mm-hmm.
Their goal difference is 0, or they probably have a tougher opponent. Be interesting to see the Scots. See, they drank Boston dry, apparently.
Yep.
They have been causing a ruckus.
Yeah, so ran out of beer in Boston.
The Celtic Army.
Yeah. Which Boston known as a bit of a sports town, you know. I almost find that hard to believe. You can drink Boston dry, but I don't know if you've ever been out on the piss with some Scots. Maybe not super unsurprising.
Yeah.
Let's scroll down to Group D, and obviously the big one for us as Australians, and where we currently sit. So USA's through. They have looked hands down the best team in that group. They look very strong against Paraguay, and look, we can whinge as much as we want, but they were the better team against us yesterday morning. But let's go back to the biggest game for us as Aussies so far of the World Cup, with Australia going past Turkey. 2-0. Tony Popovich drops. We find out when they announced the team, you know, there hadn't been boo sort of speculated in the media, I don't think, about Matt Ryan being dropped for Patrick Beach to come in, and also the vice captain Jackson Irvine coming off the bench for Paul Ocon-Engsler to start in the middle. So a few surprises there, and look, hindsight's 2020, but old Beachy had a pretty good game, didn't he?
Yep, he did.
8 saves.
That first game.
Clean sheet.
Yeah, clean sheet, and we were
The fingertip save, I think, was the big one, just to push it. Hit the post, like it was
incredible. Like maybe one bias, but like one of the saves of the World Cup so far.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of people that don't get the fingertips to that, and
huge moment for us.
All of a sudden, it's 1-1. Yeah, that was massive. But he made 8 total, and how good was the Aaron Kunda goal? Just we've been playing Harren ball with 11 guys behind the ball and defending, and
get the ball counter attack.
3 passes, and Aaron Kunda's there. The cutback was silky, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So fast. That's fast.
Oh, just the awareness to put that ball in on the left side as well.
He's balanced as well on that cutback. The bloke's 5'4", which probably
less than a gravity, you saying?
He's solid. He's fast.
He's
He's been a revelation, and he's 20. So he's only going to get better.
Which is interesting, because a lot of the time they use we've talked a little bit about this, the value of the team comparison of like what are they getting paid at big clubs. And Australia has one of the lowest ones, but then also we have one of the youngest teams at the World Cup. Our average age is like 24. So so we've got a young team of unproven guys internationally, but they've obviously shown that they've got some talent, and might be in line for some big deals and moving around in Europe clubs.
Yeah, well, when we were talking about the values, Turkey, massive.
Yep.
Arda Gul is worth more than all the soccer, like the entire Socceroos club, the Real Madrid centre mid.
Doesn't matter, got eliminated.
Yeah, such shit. I don't know if I've seen as much sore losing as what I saw out of these Turks, particularly when they doubled down. Yeah. When the Turkish captain's being asked, did you guys dominate? And he's saying, well, yes, we did dominate. And you go, not on the scoreboard, brother. 2-0.
Last time I checked, you lost.
Yes, you dominated possession. But even like some of their like shot, they had way more shots, but there was a lot of speculators, weren't they?
Oh yeah. Well, that's the design of the game. It was like we're trying trying to keep them, take longer shots and which are low percentage. Yeah, to answer your question, it was probably Poms playing Ashes is maybe closest, to the point where I even looked to see if Turkey was ever a British colony. No, they weren't. But yeah, some moral victories I think they were taken away.
Big time moral victories, weren't they?
Yes.
So yeah, that's got us up to a flyer, and then pretty ordinary, really, in the first half yesterday morning, wasn't
Yeah.
there? Aaron Kunda goes to the bench, which I thought was surprising. Matt Leckie starts in favour of him. Kudos to Leckie, becomes the most capped Socceroo at World Cups. 11 World Cup caps for Matt Leckie. But we were just dreadful that the time that we did have on the ball, which was not much in the first half, was ordinary and didn't really look even close to scoring.
Yep.
Potentially a little unlucky with the goals, you know.
Well, I suppose that's it. And that's probably like I can probably kind of see the strategy. Like probably against a fast starting US team, you want to probably be a little bit more defensive. But yeah, have that own goal obviously deflates any team.
Yep.
Especially right at the start of the match. And then,
He pretty good touch on it. Sent it well home. And then what are our thoughts on the offside one? So it's supposed to be if a guy in an offside position affects the play, I think is the words that are used. It shouldn't be a goal. Called offside, then they go up to VAR and the goal scorer is onside.
How do you not affect the play when you're in the box? Like
when you're 2 meters away from the keeper.
Yeah.
Again, am I seeing this in green and gold glasses? I think would potentially a little bit stiff there.
It's a 50-50 call on that one with that second forward who because there was I can't remember who it was, but there was a defender right behind him. Could he have made a play? Who knows?
Even just obstructing the keeper's ability. Like, obviously, there's no contact. If there's contact, it's a no-brainer. Which then it goes out into this ambiguity, I suppose, of
like is he his visuals, is he peripherals?
100% he's in his vision.
So
he's probably not physically. If watching it, and I've watched it a fair few times, I don't think Beach is physically impeded in his ability to get to the ball. So we may just have to cop that one on the chin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was more disappointing. We got no pens in the second half.
You think the handball could have been a pen?
Yeah. Maybe chopping the leg down as well. Should have been a pen.
Yes. It was very physical second half.
Yep. Yeah. How much better were we? When Aaron Kunda and Volpato come on, and shout out to Christian Volpato, he looks like that's a big. Italy's loss is Australia's gain in that regard.
Again, probably green and gold glasses on with that in that respect. Also, from the US side, they were probably just parking the bus and weren't as they
were better than us. I'm not going to come out here and say Australia rolled, blah blah blah. Obviously, there was a few decisions that were 50-50, which we would have loved to have seen go our way, but we started shit, and we paid the price for it. I think in the second half,
they should be better than us.
They need to. My preference would be, after watching that second half, would be to have both Aaron Kunda and Volpato starting against Paraguay on Friday afternoon. But who knows what Popper's, going to dish up.
So that game, just to finish our scenarios, isn't must win.
No.
But
in fact, it's quite the opposite. It's draw and we're second.
Yes.
So there's no ifs or buts about that because Paraguay are 2 behind us on goal difference. We draw, we finish second. And if we lose, we don't control our own destiny. But still good chance we go through as one of the top 8 third place finishes.
Yes.
But you don't want to.
As long as we don't
want to leave it up to the other. So goal difference will then be
losing and getting hammered would be not great for us.
Correct.
To potentially miss out on one of those 3 spots in one of those spots for the guys finishing third. Sorry.
Yeah. So Turkey and USA. Turkey are eliminated. They have the new rule as of this World Cup that it's head-to-head, not goal difference, as the first tiebreaker. So because Turkey has lost to both us and Paraguay, they can't then jump us.
By beating
or Paraguay with a win against the US, who potentially could rest a few key players. For their game in LA, and then the big one for us is Friday about midday our time against Paraguay, who will be without one of their best players in Miguel Almiron, who was the first person to suffer one of these new rules about covering your mouth. So to avoid any racist or homophobic or just any speculation about what you might be saying, you can't say shit with your hand across your mouth, and they were pretty adamant, and there didn't seem to be a big protest, so obviously they knew about the rules.
Such a strange one as well. Like, rewatching it is like, it's not like he was like wiping his face and talking, like he was holding his face there, and this is going to be bad on the mic for probably the exact purpose of doing it, but like, why do it? Like,
I wonder, had they been sat down and told us, well, you can't do this, like, because there didn't seem to be like people with their hands up in the air, like, oh my god, we didn't know about this rule.
Yeah.
Like, he got given his marching orders and he was off pretty quick, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. It just
What did he say?
True.
Why did he need to do it?
For me,
I could speculate, but we might leave it for.
Well, for me, it brings back to mind what we were talking about last year with the Aussie bloke getting sent off or getting suspended for saying "see you next Tuesday." So anyway,
you don't want to
terms
say
of
that
endearment
in America. Anyway, regardless, Paraguay held on.
Yep.
So for all this, talk again from the Turks,
got an early goal and then
can't score against 10 men. So they might need to go work on their on their attack. And Paraguay will be without one of their better players when we take them on Friday afternoon. Yep. But yeah, draw, and we finish second. It would be lovely to win.
Yep.
Let's go, you Socceroos. All right, let's go. Go down. We'll get through the rest of the groups. Group E, Germany are out of the group after missing out on knockout football back in 2018 and 2022. I watched a fair bit of this Ivorian game this morning. Absolute heartbreaker for Cote d'Ivoire with the substitute Dennis Undav scoring a double. His second goal about 94th minute. And the touch, it was like one touch turn, one touch bang, and that was all she wrote for the Ivory Coast, who to their credit were very good and good chance they get out of this group. And Ecuador and Curacao had a 0-0 draw this morning with the Curacao keeper making the most saves in 90 minutes that's ever been made at the World Cup, 13 saves. Wow. So Tim Howard, I looked up the record, Tim Howard 15 saves in one game, but that was a game that went to extra time. So shout out to him because as many draws as possible for us for the third versus fourth in case we lose to Paraguay and we need right? So we don't want results really. We want as many draws for those lower teams in the other pools.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, it gives us more scenarios and possibilities.
Correct. So we'll get to Group G and Group H. That's a good start for us. But Group F is a cool group. So some really good teams in this. Bar Tunisia, who are gone and have conceded 9 in just 2 games. Sacked their coach after
one.
Didn't help for them. Netherlands and Japan both look real good. We were talking, Sean picked me up tonight on the way in the car about how Japan just look head and shoulders above any other Asian team, don't they?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they look so good in this.
What we're saying, their back three is at Bayern and Ajax. And their keeper was good. He's at Parma, I think. So pretty handy for an Asian unit. And especially against the Netherlands, who on paper have one of the best backlines in at the World Cup to get the 2-2 draw there. Because Netherlands looked on fire this morning, particularly in attack. With doubles to Brobby and Gakpo, and they've scored 7 goals in just 2 games. And Sweden undid their 5-1 one win.
How bad do you feel?
5-1
You score 5, but now your goal difference is 0.
Dutch keeper made a few good saves in that game. There was a good chance that could have been 5-3 or 5-4. So plenty of attack in Group F there, and with Sweden on 3 points. Probably a pretty good chance to get out.
Yes. Yep. They're very similar boat to where we are.
All right, Group G, Group H. We're now in all the guys that have just played one game, being Sunday night here. So our brothers across the Dutch, as it stands, are atop of the group, but 1 point for all of them: New Zealand, Iran, Belgium, Egypt. So we got in the morning Belgium versus Iran, New Zealand versus Egypt. You'd love to see a Kiwi 3 points and get them through. I was looking at the scenarios. If we finish second, we play second in this group regardless. Okay. If we finish third, there's a whole range of things, and it's not good. So we'll run into obviously the first place from someone, but it's set. Second place from our group plays second place from these guys. So good chance we see Australia versus New Zealand in the round of 32.
And then if Iran finishes third, they'll play the USA.
Correct. Yeah. So
no peace deals at the moment.
That's been spoken about. They closed on straight today. So bloody gas prices probably going to shoot back up. I'm talking like an American now. 10 days there. Petty's going up in the survey. So third place in that will get America, and second place will get second, which potentially could be us.
Yes.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, playing against Kiwis will be hilarious.
That'd be good. A little bit of Anzac spirit. Wonder how Tim
Yeah.
Payne's going with his followers.
Yeah.
He's been overtaken by
Yeah,
a Cabo Verde keeper, who we'll talk about in just a second. But some of the good viral natures of the world that we live in now.
We played the Kiwis in the lead up to this, didn't we?
Well,
Feels like we
might have had a friendly, but they play in Oceania and we play in Asia, so we play them very little these days, unless there are friendlies. And I feel like, who did we play? We played Switzerland. We've played a couple here. We actually played Curacao. We gave them a pretty good touch up. Just look at the most recent ones. There you go, September last year.
international friendlies.
Yeah, so I played a friendly against them 9 months ago, beat them 3-1.
Yeah, we played these two games.
I played back to back, so 3-1 and 1 zip.
It's like a rivalry there.
Yeah. It's a good thing it's not rugby.
Yeah, don't let me bring the Bledisloe up. Yeah.
Anyways, we're getting way ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, of course.
Still Belgium and Egypt and some pretty good.
Yeah.
New Zealand could top the group of this, right?
They could top.
They could.
Oh, I almost would like them not to do that, so we don't run into Belgium or something like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
There's a good chance. There's a good chance, and we'll know even more after tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Keep on going there. Yeah. So down to just scroll up. Is that Group G? I think.
Yes,
it
it's
is.
G.
Yep.
No. Yeah, no.
That's
H.
H. That's H.
We're at H. Let me get this.
Yeah, thank you. There we go.
Yeah.
So Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, Spain, Cabo Verde. Spain had a goalless draw against Cape Verde.
Our favourites at one point. So
Incredible. They still could be. Argentina lost their first game last year to Saudi Arabia. Everyone forgets that. The way that it is, you don't need to go through with 9 points and a goal difference of 10. But watching the way they played versus the way France played, you know, and I think there was a change in the odds as well for the tournament winner with France actually jumping the Spanish for favourites. But one of the big talking points out of this one was Vizinha. I think that's how you say his name. The goalkeeper from Cape Verde, who kept a clean sheet and has 15 million Instagram followers and counting. So it's part and parcel of being somewhat famous in 2026 and the role that social media has. And
you can see why they're doing hydration breaks. When the amount of interest there is in the World Cup.
Yep.
You get something there, Mose?
Oh no, just the story, just surrounding him. So
he's 40, isn't he?
He's 40.
Yeah.
I think he was brought up by his grandparents. I think Virginia means grandmother or something. I've got to look this up.
It'd be some sort of Portuguese naming customs, hey, like we see with the Brazilians, where that's not his it's a nickname, and he'll have some long ass birth name.
Yeah,
I know a
you can
bloke
have
like
a go
that.
with that one.
Josimar Jose Evora Diaz. I'm sure that's all pronounced correctly.
Sure. But yeah, so like family background, I think his mother wasn't able to make it to the World Cup. Didn't have the money to get her visa. So I think obviously for him, just a very emotional sort of, for the whole team, sort of run for them. So it's like one of those cool, good news stories.
Dude, there's some crazy stories out of this World Cup. Obviously 48 teams opens the door for some minnows to be there. And there's another good story out of this team. So
yes, this is leading up to it, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Roberto Lopez, their left back, is an Irish-born, doesn't speak Portuguese. He must speak a little bit now because he's been with the national team for 6 years. But apparently the coaching staff reached out to him via LinkedIn in Portuguese 7 years ago, and he didn't respond for ages because he's like, this is spam. Didn't even know. And then they kind of put two and two together. His dad's from Cabo Verde. He's Irish. Like, you probably could qualify to be our left back, and has now got 50 or 60 games with the national teams at the World Cup. So there you go, boys. If you get something in a different language in your emails or in your LinkedIn, just respond to it. Could be a nice job opportunity for you.
Yeah, Nigeria.
But some great stories and an interesting group. So Spain will want to pull their finger out tomorrow morning against the Saudis, and Uruguay have Cape Verde.
Yeah, and going back to our point, it's good that both G and H have only had draws so far for our third seeding if we end up finishing third, not second.
Yeah, and particularly, it's probably not that important for Spain
Yep.
But yeah, for some of the more minnow nations, we will probably want to see as many draws as
Yep.
possible when they play each other.
Yep.
That's the main
Yep.
caveat,
Yep.
right? Yeah, you don't want them drawing against the big nations so much. You want them to have a draw when they play each other,
Correct.
or just control their own destiny and don't
And just win.
lose.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's get into the bottom third. So Group I is a fun group. Norway currently atop, but both Norway and France look pretty good.
Mhm.
Like the depth that the French have is crazy. So to be able to bring on Ryan Shirky, who was potentially Man City's best player this year, and Bradley Barkalow, who scored within about 2 minutes of coming on against tired legs, and you've got to deal with his pace. Just the depth that they have is crazy, and they may have who will end up being the highest goal scorer in World Cup history, Kylian Mbappe. Up front for him, he scored 2 there, coming off 3 goals in a losing effort in the 2022 World Cup final, and I think he's on 14 now. I think for overall World Cup goals, which is insane given he's only at his 3rd World Cup and still pretty young.
Yeah, well, I think Messi leads that statistic, and we'll get to him in a minute with his Hattie taking it to 16. For him.
Talking right, I've got it right here. So Messi goes equal with Miroslav Klose following his Hattie. So they're both on 16, sorry. Brazilian Ronaldo on 15, 14 Mbappe and Gerd Muller. Just Fontaine, I don't even know if that's how you say his name. He's an old French dude, but he scored 13 in just the 1 World Cup back in the 50s. And then you've got the likes of Pelé, Košić, Klinsmann on 12 and 11. Harry Kane active as well. He has 10 currently, so could start to climb up there as well. There's a lot of guys that have 10. Anything else out of that one? Iraq has Graham Arnold at the helm. They'll have a tough ask against France tomorrow. Norway against Senegal. We spoke about Norway being a smoky a couple of weeks ago. Still have them in smoky territory.
Yeah, they've got Haaland there scoring goals at will. So this is a pretty interesting, tough old group, and I feel bad for Senegal.
Yeah, well, they could still get out.
Yeah,
they beat Iraq.
just need to beat Iraq.
Yeah, there's still a good chance that, and they to Senegal's credit, they weren't bad until France brought in their troops off the bench.
Yeah,
and then they sort of punished them a little bit late in that game. Mbappe's 2nd goal in that game was ridiculous. Yeah, it was just rocket. It was like that Mbaye scored, of no relation to Moses Mbaye fame. And then France kicks off, and it's like 20 seconds later, and Mbappe's like, anything you can do, I can do better. Bang,
just
rocket.
drills it.
Group J has Argentina, Austria, Jordan, Algeria. Messi Hattie in this one.
Messi's still good.
Yep, his first Hattie at a World Cup, which is crazy at the ripe old age of 38. And he scored 1 offside. So could have had 4 if it wasn't for a couple of other inches. They looked really, really good. And Austria also one to watch out for. 3-1 winners against Jordan. Jordan at their first World Cup. Again for the Aussies, Jordan and Algeria play in a couple of days' time.
Draw there.
Draw. Just want draws between the minnows. That would be great. Thank you. Last 2.
K is interesting with old Portugal.
Yeah, they were pretty ordinary against DRC. DRC at their first World Cup as DRC were there in the 70s as Zaire back in the day. And the Portuguese, on paper, maybe one of the best midfields in the world with Bruno Fernandes and Vitinha in the middle there. But yeah, couldn't get the 3 points against DRC. They do play Uzbekistan tomorrow, the day after, and look, really should put them away. Uzbekistan went down 1-3 to Colombia. Uzbekistan have that Man City centre back and not much else as far as I was aware. I didn't see that Uzbek-Colombia game. Colombia pretty good.
Yeah, Colombia I think were pretty good. I assume them and Portugal were the main 2 to get out of this group going forward. I just think it was an interesting point with Ronaldo in the team that all the other superstars, you think Mbappe, Messi, Haaland, etc., all scored big goals. And then, I think he had 9 shots and maybe 1 or 2 on target. Not his best from him to start the tournament.
Maybe playing in Saudi League, something to do with the quality of it. But anyways,
and
he's still Ronaldo.
Also not getting any younger too.
Well, you watch, he'll go score a crazy header and a crazy free kick in the next 2 games. He's still pretty good. And then down to the last group, Group L, where England and Croatia was a cracking game, 4-2. Harry Kane a little bit lucky, had his first pen saved. He still had, I think, some missed pens in the back of his head from yesteryear, because that was a pretty ordinary first pen that he took, and the keeper just came off his line too early, and then Harry had a much better second attempt and ended up with a brace in this one. And the Croatians played pretty well. Both of their goals were excellent. And one of the games of the group stage so far, with England getting up 4-2. Cue It's Coming Home chat.
1-1.
After all of that. And Ghana getting a really late winner against Panama. So we see England take on Ghana. Panama, Croatia will round out the
I think Croatia will be
games.
fine out of that group still.
I think so too. But they've lost, so they've certainly got their backs up against the wall. Croatia,
Correct.
if they draw against Panama, they'll be asking for a really hard game against Ghana.
Yeah.
Down to the ranking of the third place teams there for us. It would have been great if we just had a few more under the belt, but it just is what it is. It's a bit hard to interpret it at the moment, given that there's a lot of teams that have played two. A lot of teams have played one, but those teams at the top are the ones to watch out for us, because they have 3 points: Sweden, Scotland, Paraguay.
Yep.
1-0 is probably not going to get you out of it. Well, 0 is certainly not going to. But the more, like we've been saying, the more draws, the better, particularly when the lower teams play each other. I can't imagine Belgium, Portugal, Spain will stay in that spot.
Yes, I agree.
How are we liking it so far? Obviously, hydration breaks are a bit. How you going?
Yeah, like I said, the crowd's been excellent.
Yeah,
So atmosphere's great.
Yeah,
You're in big NFL stadiums, so the stadium's always gonna add an element to it. So yeah, I think it's you just definitely getting a bit more of I don't want to say it's not casual, but more ruckus maybe. Crowd, a lot more people probably maybe traveling to that space of the world. So yeah, I think it's been pretty good.
Yeah, it's been good. I think viewing time for us has been pretty good.
Oh yeah, viewing time for us is excellent.
2:00 on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
a couple of
So
squee moi and the pub going off. How good, because we're so used to 3 a.m.s and you're watching through your delirious, blurry eyes, which is also fun in its own way.
I've seen
it sucks when you have work and
it does.
and it's
I've seen some of the time frames where it's just like you could have watched like a Stanley Cup game, an NBA game, into like 3 World Cup games, and back it up with 3 NRL games and some AFL games you want. Yeah, there's like 24 hours worth of sport you could be watching.
Well, the Sunday was crazy because that was Game 5 of the NBA, straight into the Socceroos, straight into our local footy Sunday afternoon.
I think like a lot has to happen between now and then for it to actually happen. But I think the UFC card where Conor McGregor comes back in, I think you've got that. I think one of the games before that, it's like you could potentially have Ronaldo versus Messi.
Yeah.
And then you run into the UFC, and then after the UFC, you have England versus someone like.
This is all pending results, obviously.
Pending results and stuff, but it's just like, just the way that lines up, and obviously US being sports mad and everything. It's like, they obviously plan and cater for all of this sort of stuff, which is cool.
100%.
Very, very cool.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out. We'll be into the knockouts the next time we pod, and it's a long tournament, isn't it? We've got 6 weeks of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only 10 days in. So plenty more to go.
Speaking of which game was it today where they had the 1000th World Cup game?
There's one of them today.
Yeah.
You know how many is in this tournament? I think it's 104, I want to say.
Yeah, I was going to say the
maths, give it another 10 years, we'll be 2,000.
Maths up. Only 10 years.
The 64 team World Cup starts.
Yeah,
that's it.
Probably not that. Like I say that sort of half jokingly.
They'll get to the point where there won't be qualifiers. You show up.
Just show up. Yeah.
Anyways, more football. Can't complain too much. We've actually seen, some of the minnows holding their own. Shout out to Cape Verde. Only one blowout so far in terms of Germany and Curacao. No
I think Tunisia was probably the one that
they've been sort of smacked a couple of times, but we haven't seen any double digits just yet.
Yes.
All right, let's talk some Aussie rules footy. Been pushed down the agenda today.
Yes.
Poor Aussie rules fans of the Esky, all 3 of you that are listening. But we We'll get into the round that has just concluded, round 15 in the AFL. Flag mental chat intensifies.
Yep.
9-point winners, Freo over Geelong at Optus. Back on Thursday night, seems like a long time ago. Luke Jackson is an absolute unicorn. How's this for a stat line? 28 disposals, 25 hit-outs. Ruckman shouldn't be getting 28, should they? 3 goals, 9 tackles. He is a freak. Yep. I was watching Campbell Brown on, I think on that American Aces podcast, talking about Patrick Voss, and gave a bit of data to suggest that he's maybe been the best player in the comp over the last month. Jai Amos kicked 3 in this. Andy Brayshaw, 35 disposals. There's a reason why they're $3.75 to win the whole thing. They've won 13 on the trot and are 4 points at clear of Sydney at the top, and don't look close to, well, Geelong played pretty well. They kicked straight and still kept it within 9 points. But yeah, Freo looking like well beaters at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. They defend really well as well, looking at that.
Yeah, 977 points against, who Swans the next best defensively with 120 more points at 1098. It's gonna. I don't know, it sounds like it's the same conversation we're having a couple of weeks ago. Is, can they do it in September in Victoria? It's probably probably going to be the question all year. But
we look at their percentages and the Swans percentage. Yeah, it's definitely a big
head and shoulders
gap
above everyone
with those two. Yeah,
and look at the gap now as well, because Geelong losing there, who were third, Hawthorn jumped them. 10-point gap now between second and third between the Swans and Hawthorn. But yeah, another week in the AFL, and just the flag mantle chat it's not going to go away. That's for sure. Yep. As I'm not a neutral, I'm a Carlton fan. But I probably don't see Carlton winning the grand final this year, although they're certainly playing good footy in the last month. Out of all those teams at the top there, I would like to see the Dockers win their first one.
Well, they're getting close to the 10 there.
Mate, yeah, we'll talk about it in just a second. Give it 2 weeks. Give it 2 weeks, and there's a good chance that they are. But
and then you'll buy your grand final tickets.
You also notice in the notes the Carlton section is longer than all the other ones, so I'm trying not to jump ahead just yet. Hawthorn beat Gold Coast up at People First Stadium on the Gold Coast, 113-97. John Newcomb maybe best on in that one. I was watching the Dragons on Friday night, so couldn't give you the best recap of the game, but he had 31 disposals, 2 goals. Anderson and Petrarca both pretty good in a losing effort. Does mean it's a 4-game slide for the Suns. They haven't won since May 15. That's
I was going to say
about 5 weeks ago.
What's the Suns' issue? What's happened?
They started hot and now they're not. I remember talking about it on the pod like a month ago, and we looked at their run and it was just fucked. Like they just ran into. I think they had.
Guess who they play next?
Who have they got? France. So they had Q Clash. So they just scroll back, or if you can get the Suns, who they've played in the last month, because they had Q Clash, which they got pretty handily beaten. Hawthorn are a pretty good team. They've played Geelong back in opening round, but that wasn't this run of losses.
Well, you get these there.
Just go down to May. Go down because you're still in April. Yeah, here you go. So their last win was against St Kilda. No, it wasn't. It was against Port. Yep, May 15. They lose to North Melbourne by a goal, but then since then, Brisbane, Geelong, Hawthorn, into Freo.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's real rough, isn't it?
Yeah, that's rough. I'd seen some rhetoric about, the D's are starting to ascend. Druck was there, they were bad. Now he's at the Suns. D's are good and the Suns are bad. So I don't want to put it on blame on one bloke who's actually been playing pretty well for him. But
I don't want to put him out there.
Not a correlation and causation.
Yeah, exactly. I've just seen some rhetoric. Some rhetoric around that happening.
He was like their best player in the first 3 weeks, and then did his hammy, and then it's come back and has been pretty fucking good too. I don't know if that's true cause and effect there.
No.
I don't know. Maybe they're back 6 when you look at some of the other better teams in the AFL. Maybe not there. You can't fault their midfield on paper. No. You have the Brownlow medalist. You got a bloke that can get 43 disposals in a losing effort. You got Petrarca. Tuke Miller still running around in the mids. Maybe a little bit one dimensional in attack, like when if King's not kicking goals, then where they get the rest of their goals coming through, it may be.
Yep.
Although, 13-30 on the season is comparable to some of those teams around them. Like they have more than the Dogs in North Melbourne and Adelaide. But yeah, it's a real rough month of footy, and probably no chance against Freo next week. But then as well, the counter to that is if you've had a really hard month, you're going to have some
you
should
hopefully run into
be
the bottom
some
of the
easy
table and
games,
come
and you
to
still
short
hopefully finishing that 7 to 10 if you're a Suns fan.
Yeah.
And Hawthorn jumped Geelong, so handy for Freo to beat them, and they jump up to third. And it's a long season, but it's going to be hard to see anyone actually jumping up into second unless the wheels.
How many more they
the
got
wheels
left?
come up for the Swans.
They play 22?
22, 20, so
So-
seven-ish, depending on how many buys you've had.
There's a big buy round next week by the looks of that.
Well, they've started it now, so it's all. I think
Yeah.
they have a 3-week period where it's sort of 4 to 6 teams on a buy each
Well, I
week.
can see 4 in that list already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 4 next week.
Yes, that gets us into yesterday.
For Crom.
The Crom keep winning. This was pretty close, and they just pulled away at the end. They've got a knack of winning close games. 11-13-79 beat Melbourne 9-8-62 at the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, I think I saw Melbourne's record at the MCG is excellent, but outside is horrendous.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep, that's pretty good summation. Max Gorman pretty good in a losing side. Hard looking at the numbers there to really pick a best for the Crows.
Yep.
Rochelle had 3 and 15, 16, something like that. Wayne Miller pretty good at the back, but a bit of a team effort. I think over the last month of footy, Jordan Dawson been pretty incredible for him. And they can get into a bit of a mood as well. Like when they start kicking goals, they tend to pile on a little bit. Didn't see this game in its entirety, saw bits and pieces, but they're eyeing off the top 4.
Mhm.
Very hard to beat in Adelaide going into a showdown next week.
Get to your blue section of the podcast.
Yeah, the next half an hour.
Start the timer.
Yeah, can't talk about the Dragons. So.
Well, I feel like we spent more time on them than they probably deserve. To be honest, but Carlton, what a turnaround! Like, regardless of them being the team that I go for, any team starts 1-8 and then goes 5-8. You have to talk about them, don't you?
Yep.
Undefeated under Josh.
The coach,
Fraser.
yeah, coach still doesn't want the job.
Apparently that's the chat. So I don't know. They might have to start a petition to keep him for next year because
Start throwing more money at him.
they haven't lost under him. It seems like he's got the right balance of young blokes and old blokes. Bringing George Hewitt back in, who I don't know how he was missing under Vossi, and still blooding, or getting a few games into Ison and Byrne. Some of these kids coming through. They've obviously got the mix right. And I think having your stars step up as well is probably not so much a coaching thing, but Sam Walsh, George Hewitt, have been really good. Paddy Cripps, been really good.
I guess firing your coach is kind of the what's the word I'm looking for?
Catalyst.
Not catalyst, but the standard that you were playing wasn't good enough. It's the kick in the bum that you need to just like, hey, like we actually got to. If we want to be a part of this club long term,
I feel like Catalyst was pretty close there.
Well, you put the two words I wanted to say together because it was but it was like your basic standard footy wasn't good enough. Here's a good kick in the bum, a good catalyst to get you going and play to the potential. Well, play to what you should be playing at.
Yeah. And finishing games. Yeah. They were strong in the fourth quarter here. It was 4-0. They're just doing all the shit that they couldn't do in the first 2 months.
Yeah, we talked about 2 months. It was like, they didn't play a second half the first 2 months.
What else was funny? Oh, Matt Cottrell. His first game back since round 8. He kicked 2, but he did, I don't know if you've seen the celebration, like a catwalk type celebration. all the boys are trying to like run over to give him high fives, and he's just like deadpan. I don't know if he knew where the camera was, but it looked like. and then the AFL
He was looking straight down.
the AFL jumped on it and put music over it. And it's hilarious, and he seems like a bit of a lad because they had him in the team song, getting it going with the harmonica to kick off the da. So I don't know if he's best on a Mad Monday or what the go is, but Matty Cottrell, take a bow. That was a good effort from you, and everything's coming up Millhouse for the baggers because we sort of identified this a month back that this Giants game had the circle around it because it was the tough one away. in a run of pretty winnable games. Now, look, they look like shit against Essendon, to be fair, but still got the win. And now they go into Eagles and Tigers. So, again, Navy Blues glasses off, but they should be 8-8, really.
Yeah, well, they're 4 points outside the 10th spot,
Yeah.
which is currently held by Melbourne. So, you want to get in there.
Probably,
and then you'll be playing finals footy.
Probably the one thing we haven't seen out of them is a real pylon. Like, go out and kick 140, right?
True.
And
they still are carrying a negative points.
Well, you look at their percentage there is worse than Port Adelaide. And that's a fair drop off for the bottom three, but it's not really up to the scratch of the other teams that are.
It's comparable to
26
North Melbourne's there,
But after some heartbreak earlier in the season, like there's just some shockers. That Easter game against North Melbourne, Collingwood in prime time. There's just some ones that stick with you, and now they've had a good run. So go Blues.
Get us in it.
Did you see Jake Stringer? This is one of the funniest stories in the last 2 weeks. Jake Stringer felt like anyone that had to work through the soccer.
Oh, yeah. Didn't the Lions play through that?
The Lions, at the end of the Lions, and nearly all of their game.
Oh, okay.
Clashed with the Socceroos. They still had 17,000 rock up, which is, by an AFL standard, probably not the best.
No, not for players at the MCG.
No. This was...
Oh, sorry. I've scrolled down. Yeah.
This was St Kilda last St Kilda GWS last week. They had 17,000 rock up. For GWS playing in Melbourne, you're probably not going to get a great crowd anyway. But Stringer said this week that it was a disgrace from the AFL. Just push our game back to 2 hours so we can get around our team. Pretty strong words, but obviously echoes the sentiments of a lot of Aussies that think, oh fuck, I've got to work or whatever when the Socceroos are on. But yeah, funny. It's just AFL players still have to go to work like everyone else, I guess. But yeah, funny one there from String. And talking about crowds, this didn't clash with anything last night. The weather was pretty ordinary, and it's still 40,000.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like the NRL would.
Yes.
It's been but it's Collingwood at the MCG. You would probably expect maybe a little bit, and maybe it sort of speaks to how they're going, and now the come down from the Pendlebury staff, and they had a pretty ordinary turnout. They've got the win.
So still beat Bordeaux.
Nick Dacos got 41 in a goal. Excuse me. 41 in a goal. 3 goals to Jordan DeGoey and Tim Membry. 3 votes and Dacos, I'd presume. Hard one for Power fans. Do you guys see the Radicaloa injury?
No.
Unusual one, patella tendon, looks like. So getting ready to jump up into a pack, and you just see the knee sort of buckle, but not in like an ACL type mechanism. And he's almost in midair and like clamping, like clutching at his knee. And again, not a hard diagnosis, I wouldn't think. So we'll be going for scans, but looking at a year probably to rehab that one. Nick Newman, blue bagger, he's done 2 of them. So it does happen, but obviously rare compared to an ACL. And they lost Ewan McKinlay in the same play. Did his ankle going into that pack, and Jack Lukosius was already gone. So they ended up with 2 on their bench. Hard, like particularly with Lukosius and Radicalair, a few of their bigger players. That's going to be hard to replace moving forward. Monks, have you got some results there? Because I don't have notes on the Sunday AFL games, but we had Richmond and North Melbourne and St Kilda and Western Bulldogs. Last I checked, the Kangaroos were up a fair margin against Richmond. I'm fairly sure they held on in that one, and we had the ladder up, which would also suggest that was the case.
Yeah, they were sitting in 10th spot.
I just have to click off the Suns.
And scroll.
I'll get some scores for you.
Right there.
So 73-48. Kangas beat Richmond. 83. Western Bulldogs beat St Kilda. St Kilda just close but no cigar, it seems like, in a lot of their games. And
Bulldogs needed to right the ship a little bit for them as well.
What do you mean? They've been going good.
Yeah, but didn't they lose 2 recently as well?
They beat Hawthorn last week.
Maybe I
think they had I think that was 2 weeks ago. I think they had a bye last week.
Yeah,
they're going okay. Remember they had that run after Sam Darcy ACL, and Norton had that concussion, neck scare, and they were certainly trending down. But yeah, they've been handy. We'll do the ladder. Where are they? 7th.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe,
four from their last 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Leave it there, Jimmy. I'll switch it to that one.
Yeah, you can get up there. So, Freo, 52 points, way out in first with
Get the
the
Suns
Swans
next.
second, 48. And then Chaos.
Yeah.
Hawthorn, Geelong, Adelaide, Melbourne, Western Bulldogs. 38 for Hawthorn with that draw, but then the rest of them all 36. Lions in 8th on 32.
Get Swans next, though.
Yeah, big game there. Suns and North 28. Collingwood 26. More chaos. St Kilda, GWS, Carlton 24. You hate to say that
Put
was
some lines.
well, yeah, you hate to say that was curtains last night for Port Adelaide, but 16 for them and West Coast and Richmond and Essendon. Yeah, not so good.
Not so good.
Nope.
Essendon play North next week. There's a chance.
Nope.
No. I think North they're ascending. They've been playing pretty well.
They have been. They have been.
I might need to cross the road.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going to come for Essendon. They were so close against Carlton.
Yeah. Oh, it's not this season.
No,
It's not going to be this season.
it's not their century. It's grim, isn't it? Dean Solomon in. I don't know if the Chris Scott sacking had happened. I think it had when we potted last. It must have a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it would have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just counting down the days till the end of the season, I would think, which is rough to say.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can win
Yeah.
2 or 3 and not have a West Coast year from last year.
Yeah. Try to take over the Tigers.
Yeah, they're only a game behind.
Yeah. I don't think they've. I can't think of any games where they could.
Can you bring up there next month a footy? Like, is there anything for Essendon where we could see him jagging one? I was trying to.
Because they've already played.
They've already played a lot of the bottom
A lot of
teams,
bottom
haven't
teams,
they?
yeah.
Their win was against Melbourne, wasn't it? About 6 weeks ago, something like that.
So North coming up.
North, St Kilda,
Maybe.
Brisbane away. Good luck. Giants, Hawks, Adelaide, Geelong.
Geelong. Don't
Sydney.
see them there.
Oh my God.
Port Adelaide, maybe.
Jeez.
Sydney rest players.
Yeah, that is grim though.
it's
That
a
is
good
really grim. You're right, bud, haven't
Yeah.
they? They've played all the bottom
They've
teams.
played. Yeah. Yeah, like
Yeah, North's
I
not
think-
really a bottom team anymore. St Kilda, mate. It's probably St Kilda. Depends on how the Giants play, but yeah, it's probably this last one against Port Adelaide.
You could have one just random week. You see that in the AFL. Anyone
you
can beat
do.
anyone
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
in theory.
It's true.
I mean, that's it. We did win one already.
Yeah, they were $5 or $6, rank outsiders that day. So
Yeah.
there's no reason why it can't happen once or twice. But I think that they're much like the Dragons, aren't they? It's
I was
avoid-
gonna say, who's going to win the next game first, Dragons or Essendon?
Yeah, the mission is avoid the spoon.
It is. Yeah.
Double spoon there for you.
Yeah,
Jimmy?
it could be.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's depressing.
I'm just lucky they had the bye this week. Otherwise, it would have been the Dragons, the Socceroos, and
Yeah.
Essendon.
Mhm.
Bad week.
Yeah.
All right, should we wrap this thing up? Let's get
Let's wrap it
into
up.
the final round. UFC Freedom 250 was on a Monday for us, given it was a
Yes.
Sunday night over there.
Flag Day. I did figure it out. It's Flag Day. That's why they had the public holiday.
Okay. We were wondering a couple of weeks ago because we're like, it's not July 4. Do
yeah,
they have a public holiday? Why is this on a
They
Sunday?
did have a public holiday. It was Flag Day.
Yeah.
Flag Day.
I paid for this one, watched it. Luckily for me, I don't work on Monday. I was with my girls who lost the big TV for a while, so there wasn't any Gabby Dollhouse or
Yeah.
Bluey for
No
a
Bluey.
few hours.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, I succumb and watch on my small screen just to save the headache. But
That's it.
you pay $60 for something. I'll
Mhm.
try to set them up with some activities and
Yeah.
watch as much as I could, and I was not disappointed.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Excellent card.
well, I think we'll open up the chat about best cards ever, maybe towards the end. But let's wrap it up. We'll go top five. We'll go main card down.
That's our thing.
Or
We'll do
main
top and
main
then
fight
we'll
down.
Yep.
So Ilya Taporia loses the lightweight belt to Justin Gaethje, the previously undefeated Ilya Taporia, the Ilya Taporia of I'll have a dinner party the night before to celebrate my victories, the Ilya Taporia of arrogance, potentially going past confidence. I don't know if that's a fair statement, but he was ranked second pound for pound. We're looking pre-show where he's sitting. He's dropped down to fifth in the pound for pound rankings, and Justin Gaethje, after years and years of being
unifies
so close, finally gets his belt.
Yep.
Sean, I'll go to you first. What were your thoughts on this fight?
I thought it was very interesting because, like, I think I was talking to you a little bit before it. It was the style that Ilya kind of fought with was very defensive boxing style, and I guess in hindsight, with the power, he obviously knew that, but he kind of limited some of his head movement and his ability to throw as much as we've seen him do in the past.
You were saying that was out of respect for Gaethje's power, you think?
Well, yeah, he obviously trained that way to have a more like compact boxing defensive style to coming into this one. And that second round where the liver body shots that really knocked Gaethje down was probably his moment, and wrestling might not have been the right choice. Yeah, I think he's got a black belt in BJJ in his background, but I think with the damage done, either disengage or let's go in for the wrestling submissions and more try to do damage. I think was the way.
Which he did.
Yeah.
You mentioned those liver shots.
Yeah.
Did you see Gaethje's feet were yellow?
Yeah.
I was doing a bit of reading into this. I think you get hit in the liver and your body then just kind of says, hey, let's you don't need those. Let's get some blood
immediately.
Yeah, you're getting septic.
and I was like, is there something in the octagon? What am I seeing here? And I went down to Reddit thread. So I don't know how good the doctors were on Reddit, but apparently it can be a sign of being hit hard in the liver. And he mentioned it straight away in the post fight. He's like, oh man, that liver shot really rocked me.
Oh well, he had a bunch of them, so it was.
Yeah, but on his face, he doesn't get cut.
Yeah,
he's saying they've got to study my skin or something. It looked like he took a fair few shots to the head, but
what's the routine, bro?
Crazy.
But I think disengaging and taking it back to the feet and then rinse and repeat, keep that going, might have been the better option, because it felt like post the wrestling, the third round, it looked like Ilya wanted to take it off and relax, and then he got hit with that big shot, which dropped him, and then I think that was the writing on the wall essentially from there, and he was just eating shots after shots, getting opened up like crazy, and then I probably broke the orbital as well in that round. And
I think they come out and said, in fact, he had, I think, both orbitals. Broken, avoided surgery, I believe.
Tough to fight out in the fourth, but they called it.
Do you think he should have gone out after the doctor, is doing an eye tracking drill and shakes his head, and then his corner is pleading with the ref and they let it go? Like, what? Why do we have a doctor?
Like I said, a trumping on the side there. If he does, he does. In a championship fight, I'd like to err on the side of the fighter.
That's an interesting
if what he wants to do, and well, his corner as well of
his brother was pretty adamant that
what they want to do, because after the fourth, it looked like there's no point sending him back out there. We've lost this fight, and it's going to be. I don't see a way back into it. It's so he's still young. Gaethje's not going to be around forever. Just take, you take this L and you'll come back better for the next one.
Yeah, my feeling was after a doctor is shaking his head, they probably could have made that decision then, because it didn't change
the
outcome. Having said that, he did go out and was still able to land some shots.
Yeah, exactly. But
it just exacerbated the damage that he ended up taking. Yeah. Look, you got to give credit to 37-year-old Justin the Highlight Gaethje. Like, he's never been undisputed champ, and won that interim against Paddy Pimblett and was ranked outsider for this. The
UFC mass is very interesting because two of the guys that, so Oliveira and did he fight Poirier? He fought someone else that he knocked out both of them.
Gaethje has,
and then
Poirier, I do believe.
Yeah, and on the flip side, Gaethje's been knocked out by them, but that math don't math. So.
I suppose it's just he's been around so long.
Well, there is. You think the idea year on year you should be improving. Like you learn, you get more experience, you have more training under your belt, and in theory you get better and better. But I'd be interested. I did see that comparison of some of their recent fights. Gaethje, the guys that had knocked him out, that Ilya had fought them and knocked them out. So it's just math boy. Maybe it was Holloway.
Holloway
and Oliveira, because he knocked,
and beat
Ilya knocked both
Dustin
of them out.
Poirier back at 291 with that head kick.
Yes,
But
yeah.
the run that he went on was beating Fizev and then Pimblett and got the chance, and obviously it was the right call, wasn't it? Because he's the new champ, and it means, I think, in the men's at least, and putting a little asterisk around Volk, given that it's his second time with the belt. There's no active champ that's had the belt for more than 15, 16 months. So seeing a real changing of the guard in the male UFC champs at the moment.
Yep.
But yeah, great fight, and credit to Gaethje. I'm sure Topuria will get another chance to be a UFC champ again. Going over to heavyweight, where Cyril Gane gets the win against Alex Pereira. We were talking about Poatan maybe weighing it in at 240 when we previewed. Official weight 251 for a guy that made 185 just a couple of years ago. So fighting. What's that, 65 pounds heavier than what he was at middleweight?
A middleweight, yeah.
Wow. That is nuts.
I think he's traditionally a dude that walks around 220.
Yeah. Is it what
So
I kind of felt there?
Yeah. So 30 extra pounds to get to this. Yeah. What do you think?
First round, pretty even. They were sort of feeling each other out.
Yeah.
And then Gane actually got a nice little combo on Poatan sort of early in the second, and he survived but was wobbly.
Yeah, it was interesting that I think at the end of the first period, hit him with that 1-2 as well, and it wobbled him. So,
you get that at heavyweight, Buck, though. Just anything
that
lands.
is. Anything that lands clean, it's just, it's just, it is what it is. And that's the challenge of going up to a heavyweight division. That the power's just different. There's just so much more weight and torque behind it. So.
It is, and it would have been unprecedented for him to accomplish what he was trying to go out to achieve and become the first ever three division champion. But hats off to Gane. That combo was great, and he kept pressing him. He didn't take the foot off the gas after getting that damage. You see that so often where people take that and they wobble, but they survive and they get through to the next round, and then they can turn the fight around. Gane didn't let it happen, and Herb Dean had to jump in and stop it. And
I think Herb gave him plenty of opportunities.
I like a lot. I think.
So to kind of regain his composure.
Yep.
I think overall from the fight, I would have wanted to see Poatan Pereira throw more. But I again, it's probably a product. The two guys that are actually coming up weight in the two fights we've talked about were more defensive and respectful of the power, which I guess you kind of have to expect. But yeah, it was I would love to have seen him throw more to try and do some more damage, but I guess he was respecting what Gane had and threw back, and rightly so in the end.
So Gane will obviously get Tom Aspinall. He said, let's do that fight in Paris in September. I'm not sure how.
I think Aspinall said he was interested.
Yeah.
I don't think he's definitely agreed to it, but I think
you get a lot of Poms travel. It's not too far.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think it makes sense for a big European fight. So.
And then I suppose the question for Pereira is, he's put all this weight on. Does he stay in heavyweight? Rogan asked, he said in Portuguese, I think he wasn't too sure. So.
Yeah, him and his team will reevaluate and make a decision. But also he's not getting any younger. He's
38. Maybe.
Yeah. So, whether there's some fun fights around there, but again, fun fights in the heavyweight division basically means there's bazookas thrown around back and forth, and it's just anything lands, you could be good night. So.
Bantamweight was fun. Sean O'Malley taking on Ayman Zahabi. He's a 38-year-old Canadian. Probably late, I suppose.
He's Zahabi's brother, isn't he?
Yeah, yep.
Who's well known as being the head coach for GSP for a long time.
And GSP was in his corner.
Yeah.
But yeah, O'Malley, too good. And this one was, again, from an entertainment perspective, incredible. Sugar Sean was talking post-fight about manifesting this. He said he'd seen the combo and then saluting the crowd. And
there's video come out of him training it as well. So before it. So he obviously knew that it'd land. He maybe wasn't the cleanest of walk-offs.
He could have got up.
I think the ref maybe did him a solid and called it off.
If that does, O'Malley just would jump on him and
Yeah,
Like,
potentially.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
really,
But compared to what Pereira got, it's like yeah, maybe some follow up shots.
it was
It wasn't like a Mark Hunt walk off where he's knocked him completely out
into
cold. So
oblivion.
he's not getting up off the canvas. So
But yeah, incredible 2-punch combo, triple salute. I think you know, making sure he's getting everyone in the crowd. And then he said post fight that he wants Piotr Jan. So we'll see what the matchmaking happens.
He's
there.
put it. I think we talked about it. He's put his name back in that conversation about, it's either him or it's going to be Marab. So one of those two will get the shot at the belt, I'd say.
I like him stylistically. I think he is fun.
Yeah.
I
think he matches really well against
that's right.
Jan as well.
Yeah.
And he's got a win over Jan, I think.
I think they're 1-1, aren't they?
Okay, you might have to double check his record.
Yeah, let me have a little look. Sugar Sean. So excuse me. So both of his losses are to Marab.
Yeah.
So he's got the win over him. Yeah. So Jan's never beaten him. Oh, it's Marlon Vera. Remember how he was 12-1 for ages? But he used to say he's 12-0 because he thought it was bullshit loss or something.
Yeah.
And then Zahabi at 38, probably.
Yeah,
not going to be a belt contender.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Like he's middle in the ranks there. Yeah. Actually, I found out they're changing the ranking system. They're going to make it more analytical, let's say, instead of being more of recent form and popularity out of the result. So I don't know what that means essentially.
ChatGPT,
maybe some AI stuff. They've fed it into some model. But yeah, they've announced that I think today that they're going to do that.
Right. Let's run through the earlier card. There was no true undercard because they just had a 7-fight main event.
Yep.
Also at heavyweight, Josh Hokett took on Derek Lewis, and this was a sort of late change up.
Late ad, yeah.
You said Derek. One of them wasn't going to get out of the first round in the preview. We were far off because I don't know if I've seen someone look as tired as what Derek Lewis looked in the second round in this one.
Yeah, I think Derek Lewis is probably a bit cooked.
He's 41. I think, and the most knockouts in the UFC. But certainly, if he hung him up, no one.
No one could.
Yeah, could fault him if he did call it a day.
What's his run lately?
I think it's still a bit of a mixed bag. He's only got that recent loss to Waldo Cortez.
So 2 losses this year, a win last year,
also wins there. Yeah. So it's not like he's on a 5, loss streak.
Yeah.
But yeah, to scroll up and look at the age, I think he's 41 off the top of the head. 41 turned 41 recently in February. Did the Black Beast. So potentially the last what we've seen him in the UFC.
Yep.
I'm going to talk about this Hokett. He plays a real heel. He's got a bit of WWE about him.
Some interesting comments about Michelle Obama at the end.
We'll let you do your own research on that.
What you think about it, but yeah.
Surprising to say that about the ex-boss's wife of... Anyways, do your own research.
Well, I guess if you're looking for fun fights for Pereira, like this, he, of course, went after him a fair bit with Shama Yamama in this one. So, for him at 5 in the heavyweight division now, like... that could be an interesting one. So.
For a guy that talks the talk, he walks the walk so far, so that's for sure. Interesting, he's a football player, so played at Fresno State. I think he was on the 49ers practice squad as well as a fullback and just couldn't quite make it in the NFL and turns out knows how to throw hands. And, he's pretty good at it by the looks. So, and he's young in a division where you normally don't reach your prime till your mid-30s. He's only 28, the incredible Hawk.
Yeah.
But yeah, also a good heel,
10-0
loud mouth kind of guy, and now he's got wins against Derek Lewis and Curtis Blades. That's not nobodies in the UFC.
Exactly. So he's been rocking up those rankings. I think he's got there. He's 5. So coming along very very quickly.
Only one decision there as well in his UFC career. It's nearly all TKO.
And that was a war against Curtis too. So they threw back and forth continuously.
At lightweight, Mauricio Hufi made pretty light work of Michael Chandler. Chandler probably time to hang him up, I'd say. 40 years of age, 4 losses on the trot.
Yeah.
Pretty well beaten in this one.
Yeah, some big layoffs in between some of those two. So, yeah.
Hoofy looks good as well. 14-2 in MMA, 5-1 in the UFC. His only loss was to Benoit Saint Denis, so keep an eye on him.
Yep.
So on the younger side of 30s, I think, for Hoofy. I might just look that up because sometimes they're a bit older than what you would think. 96, he's 30.
Yep.
So could still certainly come into his prime. Keep an eye out on him in a pretty stacked lightweight division.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bo Nickel got the first round win against Kyle Dorcas, and Diego Lopez second round win via big KO against Steve Garcia, which means. Do you have anything to add on those two?
Yeah, I was going to say Diego Lopez was, that puts him right back in the conversation for Volk. Big KO for him, so pretty impressive. And then I think Bo Nickel should actually get a ranking.
Yeah, it seems like he's been spoken about for so long for a guy that's unranked. But
Unranked, but yeah, it should. I think officially he should break into the top 15 with that win over Dracus.
And what it does mean is we had a 7-fight card with all 7 being decided via knockout / TKO. And that begs the question, where does this rank all time in terms of UFC cards? And is it crazy to say that this was the best UFC card of all time?
I don't think it's crazy to say it. I think it's definitely going to be in your conversation of a top 3, top 5. I think we looked at it like, I remember the UFC 200, I think UFC 100 as well, both of course with Brock Lesnar on them, with big cards. I think some of the cards around those two at those moments were also really big. I think the only downside to this one was I think the spectacle was awesome, but the atmosphere might have lacked a little bit because, it's very different to having 20,000, 30,000 people in there screaming their heads off. Like they would be going absolute bananas for this card. And I think it just maybe lacked some of that oomph from the crowd noise to really sell it. Because add that, I think, you probably no brainer. That is pretty close to one of the biggest card. But that would be my only downside. As I think some of those other ones with that and some of those moments would be,
due to the atmosphere and when they had 20,000, 25,000 in an arena versus 4,000 at the White House. You are right. I think particularly for some of those earlier fights, it did have a bit of Apex Center feel about it. But then when they went out to the aerial shot, and you could see the 85,000 people looked like a
on the big screen,
festival. Watching at the Ellipse. And interesting.
It felt like NFL draft sort of thing. Like it had big big screens and everything, and then all the fans tucked in back to see the event happen. So
for me, as probably old man shaking fists at wind, it just didn't seem like it had the same kind of name value to be that like big event.
I'd say Pereira is probably the biggest guy in the UFC at the moment. But
at the moment, but like look at the UFC 100 there. You look at the names.
True.
Every fight, it's like somebody.
We highlighted a couple pre-shows to compare to. So UFC 100 for those playing at home. Brock Lesnar beats Frank Mir in the heavyweight. GSP beats Thiago Alves in the welterweight. Dan Henderson beats Michael Bisping in middleweight. You got a young John Jones on the undercard. You got Jim Miller on the young undercard. You got Mark Coleman on the undercard. So maybe top to bottom, it's a little bit different. But you didn't see 7 knockouts that night.
Yeah, true.
What else did we talk about? UFC 194 was McGregor and Aldo in 13 seconds.
Yeah, I think there's a few McGregor ones there. 189, 229, for example.
Yeah.
So there's a few big moments. Like UFC 300 was pretty stacked as well. The 100 ones were stacked.
All the ones with the double zeros tend to be pretty big from a name value.
Because I think other cards probably had bigger moments. But they might have had as an average, might not have had the same sort of average of the quality of each fight. So, it's very hard to compare card like to like. But
we're trying to compare the card as a whole, right, rather than one specific moment. And like that McGregor Aldo moment, 13-second knockout was crazy, and it had some awesome fights, with Luke Rockhold beating Chris Weidman and Yoel Romero and Max Holloway, Uriah Faber, like top to bottom, pretty stacked card. But if we're talking about moments before, and I had Holly Holm, knocking out Ronda Rousey came to mind. But then you said, who else was on that card? Was Robert Whittaker on that card? You'd have to look that one up.
Melbourne. What was?
It's hard, right? Because when you remember it, your brain, at least mine tends to go to those individual moments.
Yeah. And because that was such a pivotal moment,
Let's go
you
Holm.
forget
I think
all of the
Let's
other.
go Holm versus Rousey.
Yeah, it'll be 193.
Because that was such a defining moment of the card as well. Like you kind of forget about everything as well. Like you just don't think.
So
No, just
Whitaker
Mark
beat
Hunt.
Uriah Hall on there.
Look-
Mark Hunt was on there.
Yeah.
Joanna, Holly
Yeah.
Holm, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, this is a bit of a
Interesting,
nothing.
that's 2 female fights at the top of that
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
Aussies, obviously, Aussies, we're going to be
Yeah, heavy,
biased.
heavy.
you know,
Yeah.
with
But I don't think. Yeah, these fights overall, I don't think were
Mm.
better.
No.
Like as a comparison, like I think this moment was ginormous.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
I don't think
she
the
was
rest of the
8-1
card.
outsider or
Yeah,
whatever she
yeah.
was. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get us in the comments.
Top to
Yeah.
bottom. I don't think it's crazy to say that UFC 250 was the best UFC card of all time. Get at us in the comments, roast us, agree with us. Yeah, let us know what you think. And if there's any that we've missed, we
Yeah.
spoke about UFC 100, 193, 194. What a little run through there. 200, 300.
Yeah, well, I think if you think, there was a lot of the Lesnar cards, of course, and then it was in the Conor McGregor cards. They're up there definitely for numbers sold,
Yeah.
etc. So
I haven't talked
Yeah,
about
but-
Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva, John
Yeah.
Jones.
John Jones.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of other guys. But again, you probably have to
Yeah.
go back and look at
we'll
cards
look at,
top,
what was
top
the
to
rest
bottom.
of
Get us
True.
get at us in the comments. Was it the best card of all time? And what did you think of the spectacle in general? Because obviously,
it. Yeah,
quite divisive.
I think I undersold how big the it's not umbrella. What would you call it?
the roof.
The roof. Yeah,
It was 85 feet high.
yeah.
so
It was way, and it covered a lot more than I kind of alluded to. It was,
But you also had some legitimate concerns, like when you listen to Joe Rogan
Well,
say he was concerned about the weather and it
Yeah,
being
well, they
hot and
they
this and
delayed
that.
it. They were actually pretty lucky.
storms.
Yeah, they delayed an hour because they had a massive lightning storm out east that was coming west, but then it kind of just like stopped and died just before it got there. So
Conspiracy
so,
theories.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah, exactly. Trump said no. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let us know in the comments. That was UFC 250. Actually, just before I hit the button for the F1, speaking of Conor McGregor, how long until the return? Is it 3 weeks?
They officially announced that. Is it yours? So that's UFC 323 is the next one.
It'll be that one.
You sure it's in the next one? That's not going to give it to me.
Even if you just
Next one.
go back to
Yeah, I was going to go. Does that have the list of upcoming? That's fight nights.
you should
Fight
be able
night,
to
fight
find
night.
it that way.
So,
there you go. McGregor, Holloway.
329.
Yeah,
it would be
July
the next one.
12.
July 12th.
Quick maths, 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks away.
3 weeks.
Mm.
It'll be a Sunday midday.
Yeah, I think they just announced. They
Right.
just announced this.
Makachev versus Ian Gary.
Yeah, at 3:30 for the welterweight belt. Very good.
It also means we'll have time to preview that McGregor Holloway fight and the highly anticipated return of Conor McGregor to the octagon.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, let's talk some F1 and a little brief golf mention before we wrap things up.
Sebastian Vettel.
Well, yes, F1. Lewis Hamilton is back. He did get that win in Barcelona. It's been pretty interesting. He's quietly been going along in his work, with Kimi winning 5 races in a row and looking pretty dominant. Everyone, kind of sleeping on Ferrari. But outside of this win, he also had 2 second places in the last 2 races. And with Kimi getting a DNF in this race and not finishing, he's actually closed the gap and now second on the driver standings. That is Hamilton. So Kimi's 156 points to Hamilton's 115 has closed that gap significantly. So, Ferrari are looking like they're ascending and Hamilton looks happy. Maybe that's with the new love in his life settled him down and he seems to be getting back to where he needs to be. So a few interesting things happened out of this race. It was a pretty good race overall. I think Hulkenberg had the wildest thing happen where he was driving behind, it might have been Gasly, I can't remember exactly, but they flicked up stones, pebbles, and it hit his emergency shutoff. So if a marshal approaches a car, like it might be on fire or something, and it's got electric through it, and they want to move it, they've got a little thing that they pull out to shut the car off completely. Yeah. So it kills all the power to it. So yes, this pebble flicked off and flew through the car and hit the thing and knocked it out. And it's once in a million. So it killed his car essentially, and luckily he was close to pit lane, so he just drives straight into pit lane. But yeah.
That sounds like a bit of a design flaw, right?
Yes. Well, it's got to be accessible, but also it's very unlikely that a pebble's going to fly past the car and can knock it off. So overall, pretty interesting, pretty cool race. And I just finished with some motorsports news. NASCAR's tomorrow is in Colorado. They're racing on a naval base, which is quite interesting. Of course, that means it's a street circuit, which means SVG's on pole.
How many oceans are in Colorado?
Zero.
But was it air base?
I don't know.
I swear it's a Navy base, but they might.
I'm sure they still have.
I'm sure they have.
Bases.
We have a Navy,
Okay,
Navy
let's-
base in Australia. And
Let's go down the rabbit hole. I know from.
I just thought it was a funny.
Well, I know from
Just
college
like-
football that the Air Force College is in Colorado.
Yeah, look, naval base. Oh no, San Diego.
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
Coronado.
San
Coronado,
Diego.
Colorado. Yeah.
So that
The Denver boy on the end of the table
is the biggest Navy base. I think in America, Maryland might be bigger, but certainly on the Pacific coast, that's huge.
Yep.
San Diego, synonymous with the Navy
It's not going to give me
and UAPs.
any quick
Gonna Google
pictures
Earth. Yeah.
of the naval base. But it looks pretty cool because they have all the
Yeah.
battleships in the background.
That would be sick.
When they don't have the race course naval base. Anyway, it looks pretty cool. You just have to imagine it's cool.
Yeah.
Do your own research, Aussie NASCAR fans.
Yes. Hopefully SVG can get a win there and keep him up in the point standing. Yeah, they don't have
How many years has he been over there? Because I swear you talk about him all the time.
4?
And
3? I think it's his second year as a full time, so I think 3.
37. I'm doing a little scroll down here. NASCAR, here we go. So 2023 he went over there. So 23, 24, it says this is his 4th season with Chevy over in NASCAR. And then no F1 in the morning. We got to wait until next week for Austria.
Which is Austria. Yes, correct.
When do they have summer break? That must be happening soon as well. Before or after Silverstone?
Let's see. British GP is on the 6th.
Yeah.
And then Belgium's the 19th.
19th.
Hungary's the 26th.
After as well, it's a while away.
Dutch.
There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
So between Hungary and the Netherlands,
Yeah.
they go through till the end of July before they have a month off.
Yep.
Just chucking it in here. It would have been a shout of beer had he closed, but it's Sunday night here, so it's Sunday morning, very early hours over there.
Yeah.
Wyndham Clark should win the US Open. He's 7 under. He's 6 shots ahead of anyone else there. He's won one.
Who's second?
Bring it up. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them, but he needs some sort of bed shit to happen. Although 6 shots in golf,
Yeah, a little
You know,
bed shit from
yeah,
him, and then
a couple double bogeys, and you're in
then-
big trouble.
Yeah, and then
Sean's
if it's
bringing up the leaderboard here. Burst onto the scene a few years ago where he won his first major sort of out of nowhere. It's a bit of a nice story. Lost his mum pretty young, I think, to cancer. And has a few big names chasing him.
yeah,
So
that's what I wanted to check.
where the robot is. Scotty Scheffler is one of the chasers, as well as Sahith Thagala, Tom
Hitting
Kim,
64 in
and
your first
Sam
round is pretty unreal.
Stevens. Yeah, so Scheffler you got to watch out for, and then there's a few would-be first-time winners in Thagala, Kim, and Stevens also chasing.
Yeah, I think
100th major for Adam Scott as well, which is
very
pretty
cool. Wow.
incredible achievement. He play 4 a year. That's 25 years of playing majors for the Aussie.
this one would be my concern. This is the one I'd be worried about.
Yeah. Mouse doesn't come up on that thing, does it? But Sean was circling
yeah.
Scotty Scheffler.
Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, yeah, Scotty Scheffler.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll know the result of that in about 12 hours' time.
Yep.
And that's the 3rd major of the year. We just have the British in a few weeks' time, which will conclude the majors for golf for the year. So yeah, see how Wyndham Clark fares tomorrow. If he can grab his 2nd.
Yep.
That'll do us.
Podcast.
Not a bad effort there, boys, given how much World Cup stuff we had to get through.
Mm-hmm.
What we'll be talking about in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be previewing State of Origin 3 as we
703.
lead into Suncorp. We'll
World
be
Cup will be
knockouts.
Yeah, much further along.
Maybe even a bit of NFL chat, potentially.
Oh yeah,
Getting close.
They'll be getting close
We'll
to
be in
camps,
July,
won't
so
they?
yeah. Well, a lot of them doing mini camps at the moment.
Already,
So there's
yeah,
there's been heaps of
It's not
news.
too far
flying
away.
around. Yep.
Aaron Donald might be playing.
Yeah, there's a lot of chat about that. So
You're unwell last week, or 2 weeks ago, Monks, when we were
was.
talking about the Miles Garrett trade and
Yes.
Rams going all in.
That's it.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah, there's a F1.
Always,
UFC. We've got Conor McGregor coming up. So yeah, there's heaps.
always,
heaps.
always stuff to talk about.
It's fun.
Might have won their second game.
The Dragons might have won this again.
I think the Dragons are more likely than Essendon at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, they got the Raiders coming up, don't they?
Yeah, next Sunday.
Yes.
All right, that'll do us. This is On The Esky, Aussie sports podcast, obviously. Cover our preferred sports here, but also a bit of NFL, a bit of NBA, obviously a bit of UFC.
Bit of everything.
We'll clip them up a little bit on YouTube, or you can just listen to the whole thing. We generally go fortnightly. If you have found us for the first time here, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And yeah, we should be live again in a couple of weeks' time. Thanks, boys. Nice to have you back at the table, Monks.
Yes.
Nice to be back. Hopefully, it'll stay around.
Go Socceroos.
Go Socceroos.
Bye.
Bye.